Right, chat, very good afternoon. I hope we're all doing well today. Welcome to the stream. Welcome indeed. Hope we've all had a good week. Happy Friday to everybody. It's a weekend. I hope we've all got some nice plans. Welcome, guys. So I hope we're well. It's been a little while. It feels like forever since I last streamed, but we're back here with another stream, and today is very, very exciting. We've got lots of new stuff to try out, so very, very excited for this one. So today's plan is to fly from the MK Studio Scenery of Lisbon, flying from Lisbon over to the Azores, flying to Horta, probably pronouncing that wrong, and we've got the brand new Simulations scenery for that as well. I've checked it out. It is very nice, and looking forward to sharing that with you guys. Simulations kindly provided the scenery for me to share with you guys, so thank you very much to Simulations for your continued support of the channel, and that is what we're going to be doing today. We're flying in the freshly updated Fenix V2. I have updated to the latest version because there was a little hotfix that went out after the main V2 update, or V2 Block 1, should I say. So that's what we're going to be flying today. Very excited. I've not flown it at all yet. I've not listened to the new sounds. I've not used the new flight model. Anything. I didn't have a chance to. I wanted to have a go with it last night, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I was a little bit. I ended work quite late, and I was just a bit headachy, so I actually just went to sleep on the sofa instead. So yeah, looking forward to flying the newly updated Fenix. And what else have we got? We've got a new little add-on as well. It's new to me, probably not new to everybody here, but another new one called Fenix to GSX, which basically adds GSX integration into the Fenix, and we'll go through that as we move along in the stream here. But again, I've not used it, but it does seem very nifty. It basically syncs up GSX with the payload manager for the Fenix, similar to how the fly-by-wire does, and also calls the various services automatically as well, depending on what action you're doing in the Fenix. And it's all configurable as well. It's quite cool. We'll go through that when we get up in the air, but I'll let you know what's happening whilst we're getting set up here on the ground. So looking forward to giving that a try as well. GSX integration is something that I've banged on about, really wanting for the Fenix for quite some time now. So yeah, very excited to give that one a try. And yeah, that is the plan for today. So thank you very much for joining me today, everybody. And like I say, I hope we're all doing very, very well. Who have we got in the chat? We've got Soren. Welcome. Soren's ready. Love to see it, mate. Love to see it. Are you flying along on VATSIM? Quizzy, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Craig, welcome. Roy, good evening to you. Ewan, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Matt, welcome indeed. Daz, welcome to the chat. Welcome indeed. The commentator, welcome. Schutz, good evening to you, sir. Sasha, good to see you. Welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, glad to catch you also, Schutz. I'm glad you're with us. Paolo, welcome to the chat from the Azores. Very nice. Very nice. Welcome, dude. You should be able to comment. Oh, wait. Speaking of the Azores, one other add-on as well. I think I mentioned this in the last stream, that Seafront Simulations got in touch with me and sent over basically all of their add-ons for Microsoft Flight Simulator. And they do actually have a pack specific to the Azores, similar to how we had that pack installed for Madeira as well. But they also sent me on top of that the enhanced AI, which adds loads of new leisure boats and the global shipping traffic. So looking forward to seeing that in action today. It's my first time seeing that one as well. So yeah, that is another cool new little thing we've got to check out today. So much stuff. I'm so overwhelmed. So yeah, Sasha will be back with VATSIM next Wednesday. Very good. Well, hopefully I'll catch you next week, my friend. Bobby, welcome to the chat. Turbulence settings on low. I have got that set already. Yeah. So with the Fenix, I've already got the I've got icing turned back on. Turbulence settings low. I've got my joystick settings set back to linear, and I don't think I'm missing anything else, am I? So that's all set. Biggles, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Hakon, welcome to the chat. Has the performance update come out yet? It has. Yeah, that is this update. So we're going to, again, have a look at that again today. Tobias, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. You're loving the Fenix V2. Very, very nice. Glad to hear it, my friend. Grey Shirt, welcome to the chat. Liana, welcome. Good to see you. Captain Ice Creams, welcome to the chat. You're new. Welcome to the chat, my friend. Always glad to have new people with us. I hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. Neurotoxin, have I drunk that bottle behind you before flight? Yes, I have actually. Yeah, it's fully empty now. That's why it's on my windowsill. And I'm not going to tell you what was in it. Brian, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Jacko, welcome. Glad to have you with us. Thank you very much. Alrighty. Roy likes sounds in the V2 and performance is really good. Good. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, I've heard very good comments about the sounds and the performance. I mean, I've heard varying comments on that, but looking forward to giving it a try for sure. Just taking delivery of a new rig next week. Very nice. Early 50th birthday present to myself. Very good. You got to do it. You got to do it, Schutz. Very nice, my friend. Well, look forward to hearing your thoughts on it when you get it. Drunk pilots is a good sign. I never said there was alcohol in there, my friends. Right. Okay, then, guys. So let's get rocking and rolling. Before we do that, just a quick shout out to our gold and platinum channel members. So we've got Mike West, Roy the commentator, and Andy Ivy, gold platinum members. Thank you very much for your continued support, as well as platinum members Soren, Andy Ivy, sorry, not Andy Ivy, I already said you're gold. Soren, Notty, and Schutz, thank you guys for your continued support, and of course to the silver members on the channel. I appreciate you all. Thank you very, very much for your support. Righto. Hey, Soren, my dude, thank you so much. Very, very generous. Soren coming in with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Soren. That's very, very generous of you, and congratulations to you guys that received a membership. Enjoy your new custom emotes and channel badges. AV8, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. And Craig, no worries at all, my dude. Alrighty, guys, let's get cracking with the flight then, shall we, today? So we're currently on the ground here at Lisbon. Those alerts are just going to do the gifted memberships there. But yeah, currently on the ground here at Lisbon. This is the MK Studio scenery. And I've not powered up the aircraft yet, but we'll initially get the music turned down a little bit here. In fact, we'll get it turned down all the way because we want to hear the beautiful new sounds, don't we? We'll jump on board nevertheless. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Alrighty, so yeah, currently powered down and no passengers on board. Also, for you guys who fly with fuzzair on Newsky, I have also updated all the airframes on Newsky to the new passenger count in the Fenix, 180 passengers. So that is all done now as well. And I'm looking forward to using Newsky for this flight as well today. So before we get the aircraft all powered up, let's go ahead and just run through the OFP. And we'll just have a rundown as we normally do. We're actually running quite a bit ahead of schedule here. So yeah, usually I've not even started speaking to you guys yet. I actually started the stream a bit early today. So yes, we might be on time today for once. Dave, welcome to the chats. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, and good evening. Good evening, good evening. Matt says, do I know why I don't have notifications of your videos anymore? I don't know, to be honest, Matt. That must be a YouTube thing. I wonder if you maybe try turning them off and on again, maybe? I really don't know. Yeah, it shouldn't. Nothing's changed on my end. I've not changed anything. Hakon asking for the FPS counter. Yes, I'll make sure that's turned on, and that'll be in the bottom right. Okay, so let's have a look at the OFP then. So today we're going to be fuzzair 448. We're going from Lisbon to Horta. We're in the Alpha Reg A320, which is Fuzz Lightyear. And we are targeting off blocks 1800 Zulu, so in 55 minutes. Although I think we'll be ready probably a little bit earlier than that. at this rate, and estimated on blocks time is going to be 20:48 Zulu. So it's about a 2 hours and a half flight. Covering 958 miles over the ground, and we're going to have a slight headwind for the trip today, 16 knots on average, and looking at the weights, takeoff weight expected 66.5 tons, so quite a bit heavier than what we're used to flying in the A320, but should be good fun all the same. Alternate is LPLA. I'm not sure where that is. That must be somewhere in the Azores, I think. We'll look at that further down. We're cruising at flight level 360. Trip time of 2 hours and 20 minutes. And if we do need to divert, it's 24 minutes to our alternate. Block fuel, we're going to take 8,923 kilograms. And coming a bit further down, looking at the routing. So we've got runway 02 in use at Lisbon, which is what we planned for on the Bijan 3 November departure. Just a note, the MK Studios scenery, I believe it still says 03 on the taxiway signage and on the ground, although they recently changed, well, I say recently, they've obviously changed the designation of the runway since this scenery was made, so I'm not sure if that's actually in the scenery or not yet, but nevertheless, one thing on the route is we need to be aware of is we do have a lat-long coordinate in there as well, so we'll just need to make sure that gets put in properly when we do the import through ACARS. And then we're expecting runway 28 at Horta on the Notma 2 Echo. Now, speaking of runway 28 at Horta, very short runway at Horta, and I believe, according to my sources, Simulations contacted me about this airport, actually. They said it's the it's basically right on the limit of the shortest sort of runway that an A320 can land on. So should be quite a spicy arrival, I think. But like I say, as we normally do, we'll brief that once we get en route. So we've got 177 passengers. For some reason, none of them are bringing any bags with them. Maybe they're just, I don't know, shove all their underwear in the pockets. I have no idea. And coming a little bit further down, no MS Signets, tropical cyclone Signets or volcanic ash Signets in place. And the weather at 1600 Zulu, so about an hour ago here at Lisbon. We've got some wind. Let's just get an updated METAR here. Oh, actually, that is still 1600 Zulu. Okay, maybe there's not a new one yet. Sometimes SimToolkitPro does pull the METARs through a bit late. Oh, hang on a minute. Is there ATC online here? I think there may well be. No, there isn't. Okay. So why is SimToolkitPro pulling an ATIS through then? That's interesting. See, there's an ATIS there. That's usually based on SimBrief. Sorry, not SimBrief, VATSIM. Now, I wonder if that is maybe a real ATIS. I'm not actually sure, but nevertheless, wind is 330 at 13, variable between 300 and 360. So very similar to this METAR. In fact, the same as this METAR. In fact, more or less. 31 degrees temperature, so quite toasty here in Lisbon. And coming a bit further down, the weather at Horta also looking fairly similar, really. A little bit less wind and a little bit cooler. Alternate is... I'm probably not going to pronounce this correctly, but it's Lajnes or Lanes. And there isn't actually a wind reading there, interestingly enough. But that is our alternate. So that's that. We'll have a quick look at the charts. Basically just heading straight west over the ocean to Horta, which is the furthest island away in this little archipelago here. And then the significant weather charts, we do have some stuff on there. Now, we've got isolated embedded CBs here, just floating over the middle of our route. Up to flight level 350. Now, that shouldn't affect us. We're going to be flying at 360, but we may expect some quite high clouds as we head over there. So that is that. And yeah, that's about it, really, regarding significant weather charts. Not too much else to say there. Alrighty, good. So that's that. Let's get set up, shall we? Alright, alright, alright. So FPS counter is in the bottom right. It's down here. It'll go dashed out sometimes when I tab out of the sim, but it should start to go again once we're back in the sim. Paolo, I have had a brief look at Horta. I've not actually flown in there yet, but yeah, we're going to be flying into there today. Oh, Craig, you're gonna take the plunge on the Fenix. Very good. You won't regret it, my friend. You won't regret it. Thank you very much for the 1 month, Craig. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. Lovely stuff indeed. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And Matt, thank you very much for the 6 months of gold. Thank you very much, my friend. I didn't really join too much in the streams, but every time I come back, I always find good quality streams. Thanks, Bobby. I'm flattered. I'm glad you enjoy it, and don't you worry at all. There's absolutely no obligation to be here, my friend. You know, you've been a member of the chat for many, many moons now. You've been with us for a long time, and you know that I appreciate. Paolo says, "Is it worth the money? Although there's an elevation for the stand that is not accurate." Well, we'll have to have a look at that once we get there. I can't really comment on that just at the very moment. All right. Latest 80s was Quebec, and then they signed off. Okay, so VATSIM was online here. Very good. Thank you very much, Roy. Thank you. Grey Shirt says the Fenix is very nice and the full system is rising above the fly-by-wire. The missed approach, dual MCDUs and RNAV approach make it worth it for me alone. Yes, exactly. Yeah, it does. It can do everything. You know, it's fully capable and it's fully fleshed out. Obviously, the fly-by-wire is great, but it's, you know, it can't do quite everything just yet. And then on top of that, just the immersion in the Fenix is just fantastic. And yeah, I mean, it's just got everything really that you could ask for from a flight sim add-on. You know, it's got the EFB, it's got the passenger cabin, it's got the ground services, it's got, you know, the full system simulation, it's got failure simulation, it's got the super in-depth dynamic simulation of all of the systems, and it's not just, you know, scripted events. It's, you know, it's like I say, it's a dynamic system. So, you know, things happen based on the conditions that you present the aircraft with, rather than being, you know, a scripted based approach like some aircraft like the CRJ and things like that. Although I can't really speak, I take that back actually, I can't really speak for that for a fact about the CRJ, but that's what I suspect is the case. Yeah, absolutely love the Fenix. I think it's well worth the money. Nathan's doing a flight from Edinburgh to Bodrum in Jet 2. Very nice indeed, my friend. Very nice indeed. And welcome to the chat, Nathan. I hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Also, fun fact, guys, chat. I was actually working today in a property that's right underneath the approach path for Leeds Bradford Airport. So that was very... it was great fun, basically. Every time I heard an aircraft coming in, just pop my head out the window and you just get to see an aircraft coming over very, very low over the house. Very, very cool indeed. Right. Okay then, guys. So let's get rocking and rolling with the flight, shall we? So I'm going to keep the volume up nice and high and hopefully get to hear some of these new sounds here then. Right, let's jump into the flight deck. And is our seat correctly positioned? There we go, lovely stuff. Okay then, so here we are, stand 502 at Lisbon. Let's get rocking and rolling. We'll try not to talk too much because I kind of want to hear the sounds myself as well. Oh, did you hear that? Was that a thing that happened before? Where when you turn on the external power, you can hear the ground power unit, like it starts ticking over a bit louder because it's taking more load. That might have been a thing before. Anyways, let's get the adheres to nav. Nav light, come on. I don't know how much they've changed regarding the sounds, and some of this may be placebo, but I do feel like everything just sounds super, super nice. Get the pack flow on high for when the passengers get on board, because it is pretty toasty here in Lisbon. And everything else is looking good there. Fantastic. Right. Oh, so let's go ahead and import the flight plan from SimBrief. So this is one of the first things that GSX to Fenix to GSX latches onto. So when I import this, it should call the refueler and the catering. So let's get that done. Okie dokes. Now, shouldn't need to do anything on here now. Should just be able to leave this as it is, and it should all run. So basically what it's going to do now is it'll call the refueler, it'll call the catering, and once that's done, then it'll automatically start the boarding of passengers. So yeah, we'll just have to see what occurs. I'm going to leave it open just so I can kind of monitor, and let's just have a look actually outside. Okay, here comes the refueler. So that's done it automatically. That's very nice. Lovely stuff. Alrighty. Have we got any friends here today? Not seeing any fuzzairs. I did see one before, but they may have already departed. Here comes the catering as well. Absolutely bezzing it. Got a TAP Air Portugal over there. Love that livery. Yeah, so he should start loading the fuel automatically without me having to do anything. We'll check on that in a minute, nevertheless. Right, okay, so let's get cracking then. The QNH is 1021, so we'll set that. Looks like the displays here have changed, which is nice, unless that's just the brightness, maybe. No, they are fully bright already. Okay, constraints, airports, we'll get the VOR display on. That's all good. Lovely stuff. We've got the window open in here as well because it is pretty toasty outside. 30 degrees temperature. Let's see what temperature actually is. 31 degrees in the cockpit. 37 degrees in the aft cabin. So once the catering is nearly done, which is here now, maybe we get the APU started up and we can get these passengers cooled down a little bit. Is the refueling happening? It is. You love to see it. Very, very nice indeed. Oh, God, I love it, don't you? Got to love it. Right, let's keep on going down then. So down here, we're going to set Unicom on the left side. That's set up there. That's good. We'll get these turned up a little bit as well. It looks like the brightness on these knobs maybe been adjusted as well, potentially. And that is about everything. Good. So jumping to the MCDU, we'll go ATSU, AOC, and flight in it. What tool does that? It's called Fenix 2 GSX, the number 2, Fenix 2 GSX. If you just Google it, it's a GitHub page, and you can download it from there. In fact, since I've got a couple of people asking, I'll just I'll get the link and drop it in the chat. Make sure you follow the install instructions because there's quite some specific instructions to install it. But oh, commentator one step ahead of me. Thank you very much, dude. Much appreciated. Right, so 448 Lisbon to Horta, alternate LPLA. That's all correct. ETA 2 hours and 20 minutes. That's all looking good. We'll go back to data. Aircraft status. Nav database is current. That's all fantastic. We'll go init and init request. I'm just going to slide over here. Initially, just doing that, you could just feel it does feel smoother. Because this is something that I do like every flight, and I'm very familiar with how smooth that feels, and that feels a lot smoother just doing that. Yeah, very, very nice indeed. All right, invalid flight plan uplink. That's fine. That's probably because we've got that lat long coordinate in the flight plan, so we'll have to punch this in manually then. We'll go LPPT to LPHR. And we're going to be fuzzy 448 is the call sign, and our alternate LPLA. Stick that in there as well. That's good. Cost index of 26, standard for fuzzair and the A320, and we're cruising at flight level 360. Ground temperature 30 degrees here. Right. Catering's off on the way. Refueling's still happening. Let's get the APU fired up. Yeah, it definitely feels a lot smoother. Although, having said that, this airport in general is not that of a heavy airport, to be honest with you, but it definitely does feel smoother. So just going to double check. Top of climb temperature, -48. And the tropopause is 524. Okay, good. And then flight plan. So we're going to depart runway 02 on the Bijan 3 November departure. So from Bijan we're going to go direct to Gunti. Hang on a sec. Let's just do the bit of this guy. Sounding real nice. Alrighty. APU is available. Start the chrono there. Good. So, Gunti. From Gunti, we're going to take... well, we're going direct to 3920 West. Sorry. 39 North 020 West. So, we're going to put that in as 3920N. And that's not worked for me. So let's go back. And have I forgotten the format already? Do you do it this way around instead? No, it's definitely not that. Is it 3920 West like that? Okay. Right, so that's that, and then we're going to go Bavas, and then Notma. So all directs, no airways on this flight plan. And look at this, this is new, I'm sure. This once undo. I'm sure that wasn't there before. And then we're expecting runway 28 at Horta. Not sure what approach we're going to do. Let's have a look what we've got. We've got an NDB, RNAV. It's probably going to be an RNAV, isn't it? RNAV Zulu. And then a Notma 2 Echo. We'll insert that. And we've got a
bus is coming.
Got a disco there. We'll sort that out later. GPS primary. Love to see it. Very, very nice. Okay, we'll just go to the plan view and just double check the flight plan makes sense. So we've got that right turn. Bijan Gunti, and then that is clearly wrong. Let's see how far away that is from our flight plan. Very far. So, yeah, I've definitely mucked up the format in there. I could have sworn it was 3920 with the N after it. Okay. Where can you see the tropper value on your SimBrief flight plan? It should show it on the flight plan section where you've got each of the different waypoints. So here comes the boarding. We can't quite start the APU just yet. So boarding's happening automatically, which you love to see. And then I'll just show you where the tropopause is. So if you're using the Lido formats, the tropopause is here, TRP. And then it's just here on each of the waypoints. So I just took the tropopause from the top of climb. Now, the tropopause is going to slightly change on route, but that's where I take it from. That may not be correct, but that's generally how I've done it in the past.
Morning.
Right. Passengers boarding sounds very, very loud for some reason. Right, let me try a different format here for this fix because it doesn't seem to want to take it the way I did it. I'm pretty sure I had the formatting correct there, but it might just be because it's not in the database potentially. I believe when you use the shorthand, there are certain fixes that are in the database. So we'll try it a different way.
I'm right next to her. Thank you.
So let's try it like this one. So we'll go 3900. Maybe that's going to work? No, okay. Let's just put it in as a pilot waypoint. That'll probably be easier, won't it? So we'll go data. Where are we? Pilot's waypoints. And we'll just call it 3920 north. Like that. And then we'll put in 3900. 0.0, and then I can't I can't remember the formatting on this either, but I'm fairly certain it's like this.
Lisbon traffic.
There we go. Okay, good, fantastic. And then we'll come back to here, and then we'll stick it in. 3920 north there. Good. Right, fantastic. So let's just make sure that's all gone in. That looks perfect. Good. Alrighty, so let's just check the rest of the flight plan now. Yeah, all looks good. So let's stick that in there. Fantastico. Okay, so that's that done. And then in terms of a engine out SIDS, might be a bit different here at Lisbon, and it is. Okay, so we'll go fix info, and we're going to go to Rockob, right turn to Reno and hold. That is the engine out SIDS.
Passengers bus is coming.
Good. Okay, and then RadNav page. So we are actually flying an RNAV departure, so we're not going to set anything here. Secondary flight plan, we'll go to the secondary. So we'll go to init, LPPT to LPPT, and we'll just set up arrival back onto 02 in case of engine failure. So that's that done. Good. And then init B, let's just see what's going on outside. Okay, second bus has been. There's still another one coming. 50% boarded. Okay, good. So our figures. Do we have a load sheet? We do not actually have a load sheet just yet. Interesting. Okay, it's probably because I started the sim mega early. So we'll just go to the mass balance page, and we'll resend that. You can see 90 boarded so far, and the fuel is still being uploaded. Actually, no, it's not. Oh, it's just because we're using it because of the APU, of course, and we can stick the APU bleed on now, of course. Get the pumps on and the seatbelt signs on as well, and we'll start getting the passengers cooled down. It is a mighty 37 degrees in the cabin, so we'll make sure that pack flow is on high, and we'll crank that down all the way to cold. And I'm actually going to go ahead and close this window as well so that we can get maximum cooling on the flight deck as well. Right, lovely stuff. So, load sheets we have here. So, 57.8 is the zero fuel. And then the CG is going to be 31.2. Block fuel is, I already forget, 8.9. Good. Alrighty. So wind component, we're going to have 16 knots of headwind. That's good. Alternate fuel is 1 ton. Still getting this wrong, but that's fine. We'll stick that in there. It's probably SimBrief's fault anyway. And a route reserve of 0.6. We'll get 0.1 extra. That's fine. And then we'll do the perf. So we'll go to departure performance. And we'll go runway 02 dry. Pack's definitely going to be on. And we'll sync the preliminary and the weather. And here we go. So 5.3, 5.6, 2 down 1.1 and 63 degrees of flex. 153, 153, 156, and flaps 1 down 0. Was it flaps 1 actually? I forget. Flaps 2, of course. I'm getting them all mixed up here. Flaps 2 down 0.1 and 63. That's right. Good. And then thrust reduction acceleration at this airport is actually going to be NADP 2 departures, so this is all fine. And the transition altitude is checked on the charts, 4,000. That's all correct as well. Fantastic. Lovely stuff indeed. Great. Okay, so we don't have any ATC online here, so we'll just set our initial climb clearance as it would be. On this departure, it's flight level 60, so that's all set and looking good there as well. We can accept that load sheet as well. Lovely stuff. Right. Okay, that's all done. So let's do a... have the new terrain display as well, which you love to see. Very, very nice. Okay, so yeah, let's do a departure briefing then, shall we? Copper, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Mike, this is Fenix V2 indeed. Yes, it is. Jimmy, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Welcome indeed. Try the end first. Yeah, I should have tried that really, but never mind. We've already done it the complicated way. Oops. Never mind. Ramsey, welcome to the chat, dude. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome.
Morning.
MPS got a new patch for the Fenix today. It did update yesterday. Do I really need to uninstall the old and update it again? Yes, I would still update to the latest version of the Fenix, definitely. It just fixes a few issues that people are having with performance and something else which I forget what it was. Will there be an FPS hit with the Fenix rather than the fly-by-wire? I mean, they've just done a big performance update that we're just looking at today. This is my first time looking at it, so I can't really say what it's like for sure compared to the fly-by-wire anymore. According to their charts that they put out, their performance charts, apparently it's on par now with the fly-by-wire at least. So potentially not, but I'll comment on that today. Unfortunately, this flight is not really the greatest test of the performance in the Fenix because we are, after we get away from the coast, we're just going to be over water. So it's not the greatest test really, but never mind. Right. So, sounds like the stairs are being retracted now. Let's have a look. Yes, they are indeed. Lovely stuff. Okay, then. So, let's do a departure briefing then, shall we? How much better is it on the performance? I mean, I'm getting about 45 FPS on average at the moment, which is quite nice. I think previously I was getting sort of mid to high 30s at this airport, if I remember correctly, but may also be wrong about that. But it seems nice. It just feels smoother from what I've noticed so far. But this is my first flight, so my opinion could change when we start flying different places. Oh, okay, getting nice and cool now. 18 degrees in the cockpit here. Okay, let's just do a bit of that and a bit of that as well. Okay, good stuff. We'll go back to pack flow normal as well. Alrighty, so that's all good. So departure briefing then, guys. Let's close the door here. Right. So, we are departing Lisbon, Portugal. This is the 10-9, although we're not going to look at this initially. Airport elevation here, 355 feet. So we're currently at stand 502, which is right here. And we're departing runway 02. So we push back facing to the south. There is no ATC online, so we're just going to do this at our own discretion. So we'll push back facing to the south on Juliet. And then we'll taxi Mike all the way to Mike 5 for runway 02. So quite a straightforward taxi, nice and short. And then we're going to be departing the Bijan 3 November. This is our nav departure. 10-3 plate here. Transition altitude 4,000 is checked in the MCDU. And everything else is checked as well. So the departure itself, initially straight ahead to 2,000 feet. We're then going to take a right turn to Papa Tango. 416 minimum altitude there, 3,000 feet, and then continue out to Munir. Minimum altitude flight level 60 there, and then another right turn out to Bijan. That's departure. Quite straightforward. And then we've got initial climb clearance for flight level 60. Although, like I said, no ATC online here, so we'll probably end up clearing ourselves more or less straight up to our cruising altitude straight away. So that's about it really in terms of the weather. Let's just see if we can get an updated weather at the moment. So we've still got the 1600 Zulu METAR showing here. That's interesting. Let's just have a quick look here on this one. This is 1730, so this is much more up to date. So we've got winds at 320, 17 knots. So a decent amount of wind here and crosswind, so very interesting, and it'll be good to try out the new crosswind behavior in the Fenix for sure. So yeah, 17 knots, mostly crosswind component there, and we've got 28 degrees of temperature now. It's getting a bit cooler down here. QNH still 1021. Other than that, the weather is fine, so a bit windy. Obviously need to be aware that the scenery may still say 03 on the runway. That's probably the only threat that's going to be applicable to us for this flight today. For the departure at least, and yeah, so that's all checked, and that's it really, chat. Let's jump back over and start getting ready for our departure. So we should have our final load sheet now. We've got compliance, so we don't need to change anything there. That's all good. And let's do the cockpit preparation checklist. So gear, pins and covers are removed. Fuel quantity is 8.8 tons. Seatbelt signs are on. Adheres are in nav, and the bar ref is set to 1021 on both sides, and we'll set it on the standby there, of course. So that is that. We're actually a little bit early for a departure here, so if we actually depart now, we're going to actually end up being a bit too early, and Newsky is going to penalize us, so we kind of need to wait another 5 minutes before we depart. The in-sim time is actually slightly incorrect there, so let's just set it to real time there. Yeah, 5 minutes until we can actually push back here. So we'll stick some music on for now. Let's just catch up with some of the messages in the chat here. Oh, we've got a colleague with us. Lovely stuff. Very, very nice indeed. Love to see it. Alrighty. Mike says, definitely smooth, but messed up my throttle settings. Job for the weekend. Okay, thank you very much for mentioning that, Mike, because I might need to do mine as well just now. So thank you very much for that, Mike. But if you did a clean install, that's I suppose that's probably to be expected, isn't it? FaZe Cloud, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Downloaded the fuzzair livery. Very good. Very, very good. Are you joining us on Newsky as well? MPS says, can't say it's different performance on my new computer between old and new patch only. I think I can see different is the colour. I think it's more light. Yes, they definitely changed the colour in the cockpit. It definitely looks lighter. And they've overhauled all the displays as well. So I've noticed they look a bit punchier, a bit more saturated in colour. And I think the, you know, they've obviously changed the fonts and various other symbology and things like that as well, so it's more accurate pixel to pixel compared to the real aircraft according to the patch notes. Do I know why your engines won't start in the fly-by-wire A320 phase? It might be, have you got your APU bleed on, fuel pumps on, engine mode selected to ignition start? Those are pretty much the only things you really need to do to get them started in the in an Airbus. 30 knot wind at Gothenburg the other day. Crikey, and heavy rain. Yikes, that sounds spicy. We won't let you join for some reason. Maybe I need to just accept you, Phase. I'll just check. Oh, I've got lots of people to accept. So I've got Sunny Marcus Olsen is accepted. Sunny Sim is accepted. Shay Knapp accepted. Richard Perez accepted. Aidan Quinn accepted. Herbie Burb accepted, and Avi Navi is also accepted on to Fuzzair on Newsky. Welcome aboard, captains. Right. So, throttles. Let me just make sure I've got that done. So, that'll be on config. Do we have random failures on? We do. Okay, that's good. So data link config, that should already be done. Yeah, and then controls config. Let's just see here. Yeah, that definitely needs to be done again. So we'll go calibrate, max reverse, idle reverse, idle, climb, flex MCT, and toga. That's done, so let's just make sure. That's good. And flaps. Okay, that is okay. And the flaps, let me just see where that's at. Okay, that needs calibrating as well. So, flaps to up, flaps to 1, flaps to 2, flaps to 3, flaps to full. Okay, good. So that's all sorted. Lovely stuff. Good thing that didn't catch me out whilst I was on the runway, eh? Right, we should be able to get rocking and rolling now. So let's just bring GSX up and we can prepare for pushback and departure. What in the world just happened there? Oh, look at that. I think Fenix to GSX automatically disconnected the ground power for us. Did it turn the button off though? That is a question. Can't tell. Okay, that's fine.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Alrighty. Are you ready for the new sounds, chat? I am indeed.
Departure checks completed. Bypass being inserted.
Alrighty, chat. So, before start checklists. Parking brake set. Takeoff speeds and thrust. 153, 153, and 156. 63 degrees of flex. Windows are closed and the door there is closed as well. And the beacon light is on before start checklist complete. Facing south.
Locking gear.
Nose wheel steering disconnected. Love to see it. raised up.
Release parking brakes, please.
Lisbon traffic, fuzzy 448, stand 502 is pushing back, facing to the south on Juliet, runway 02. Alrighty, let's go then, chat. Parking brake released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at wheel.
Alrighty, engine mode selected 2, ignition start, and we'll go for an engine 2 start, shall we? Not going to say anything while this starts. Crank the volume up full. Bobby said, I'll answer that in a moment, Bobby. Nice. Sounds a bit more bassy, I think. Alrighty, engine 2 is available. Go for a start on number 1. PTU still very quiet in comparison to the fly-by-wire, but again, we're sat right at the front here, I suppose.
Reset parking brakes.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start.
Parking brake set.
Unlocking gear.
So Fenix to GXX also has this this thing where it will sync up the gear pin with GSX or something like that. I'm not quite sure I fully understand exactly what it's doing there, but I think that's supposed to stop the weird wheel spinning effect that you get with GSX in some aircraft. Seems to have worked. Our ground speed only went up to 2 that time, so seems to be a bit better. Alright, engine 1 is available. So, engine mode selected 2, ignition starts. We'll set ground spoilers armed. We'll set the flaps to 2.
Bypass being removed. Left is clear, right is clear.
Very, very nice indeed. Okay, transponder can come on. Coming further up, we'll check the ECAM status here. We'll go to the fuel prediction. CG is 28.9. That should do it. Good, good, good. Okay, and we'll do a flight controls check. So full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, and neutral, full left on the rudder, full right on the rudder. Back to neutral. Start this guy. Auto brake max. Everything looks good up here. Going up top, we'll get the APU bleed off, APU master off, and let's just see if we're getting the hand signal. Oh, she's already giving it us to our captain, the pilot monitoring for today. Love to see it. Alrighty, very, very nice. So after start checklist, anti-ice is not required. Ecam status check. Pitch trim is 20.9%, and the rudder trim is indeed a neutral. After start checklist complete. Let's go. Taxi lights on. Parking brake released. Let's get on our way, chat. Oh, oh, that's nice. Oof. Lovely stuff. Right. I think they might have updated the ground handling as well. I'm not entirely sure, but we're about to find out. Oh, I think they added the cabin call buttons as well. They're working now as well. So, taxi checklist. Flight controls are checked. Flap setting is config 2. Radar and predicted wind shear. We'll get that on now. On and auto. Engine mode selector is in normal, and the ECAM memo will do takeoff no blue in just a moment here. Oh, it does feel very smooth though, I have to say. Alright, let's bing bong the cabin. How do we clear the cabin check then? Is that not how we do it? It definitely feels like it's got more inertia to it, I have to say. We'll do a takeoff config check as well. That's normal. Okay, cabin ready. Good. Alrighty then. So, ECAM memo is takeoff no blue. Just wait. Okay, that's on a timer kind of thing. Okay, good to know. Thank you, Soren. Oh, the sounds though. Nice. I like it. Lisbon traffic fuzzy 448 taxiing to runway 02 via Mike. Lisbon. Make sure there's no controllers on still. No, there isn't. Okay. Lovely stuff. Right. Brake check. Don't see any aircraft on approach, but it is always difficult to see on this sim sometimes. So let me just check on VATSpy. Yeah, it looks like we're clear. Oof. Lovely sounds. Lisbon traffic via Mike 5, fuzzy 448 lining up runway 02. Lisbon traffic. Oh, they have updated it to 02. It does say 02. Okay, that's good. Alright, so lineup checklist. Takeoff runway 02 is confirmed. TCAS, TARA, packs 1 and 2 are on. Lineup checklist is complete. We'll get the strobes on. Lisbon traffic, fuzzy 448, taking off runway 02, Bijan 3 November departure, Lisbon traffic. Alrighty then, chat. Let's get the landing lights on. We've cleared ourselves to takeoff. Good stuff. Right, so let's start the chrono here. Holding it on the toe brakes. Let's spool them up. Oof. Takeoff. Alright, Manflex 63, Azores runway auto thrust is blue. I'm probably going to get told off now by Newsky for going off the center line there. Flex set, 100 knots. Oh. Rudder sensitivity is a little bit more than what it used to be. V1, rotate. Oh, that's much better. Nav. Positive rates. Gear up. spoilers disarm there. Lever climb, climb. Thrust, climb, auto thrust. Very, very nice. Oof. It feels very smooth, chat, I have to say. Alrighty, we're above the F speeds. Speed is checked, flaps to 1. I'm forgetting about everything here because of the the views. Speed is checked, flaps to 0. Oh, the displays are stuttering a little bit. I remember reading something about that in the patch notes. I may need to change something in the Fenix app, I think. Standard set. We'll clear ourselves up to flight level 140. So open climb, flight level 140 blue. Alright, we'll give the cabin crew a bing. Alright, we'll go AP2. And the nose lights can come off as well, of course. Wow, it does feel very buttery smooth here, but we are about to fly over some water, so that's probably part of the benefit here. But yeah, feeling very nice, I have to say. Sounds very good as well. Display synchronization, that's the one I want. Okay, good. I'll do that one in a sec. White box around the ND. Yeah, that's a Microsoft Flight Sim issue. I think they're planning to fix that in the next next update. Right, let me just open the Fenix app and turn on the display synchronization there. Are they still stuttering? They are. Okay, let's do it. Hopefully this doesn't kill things. Oh, you've got to start a new flight. God damn it. All right, flight level 100. We'll get the landing lights off. We'll just leave the seatbelt signs on for a second here, whilst we complete this turn. Yeah, that is a shame about the stuttering on the displays there. I guess it's probably because they're now using. I guess they're using the GPU for the displays potentially, and because we're getting quite a high frame rate around here, it's sort of overloading the GPU, I suppose. That might be what it is. Okay, so seatbelt signs can come off. The bing bongs sound much clearer as well, I've noticed. Alright, temperature's looking much better now. If still a little bit warm, let's just knock it down a couple of touches. And we're looking good, chat. We are looking good. On our way. Very, very nice. There's Lisbon. Oh, look at that. There's a ship down there. That'll be from Seafront Simulations. Very nice. There's one down there as well, I think. Oh, and another one down there. Look at the wakes. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Big, big ship. Very close to the land, though, for such a big ship. That's probably a Microsoft Flight Sim thing, isn't it? Alrighty, let's keep going up. We'll go all the way up to our cruising altitude of flight level 360. And we'll pull. The display here is lagging a bit as well. First climb up, climb flight level 360 blue. Lovely stuff, chats. Lovely stuff. Very nice. Let's go, Ramsey, dudes. Yeah, it looks beautiful, doesn't it? MPS says the panel switch bug is... I can't say it. These toilets are so loud, man. Just going to turn the sim volume down a teeny touch here. There we go. Toilets are quieter now. So MPS says this panel switch bug is, I can't say what I think, but then have plans start from cold to dark, 1 hour gone for nothing, and it's very difficult to use buttons. Switches, so you have to end flights. Oh, right. Yeah. I think I know which one you mean, actually. Fairly similar to maybe what we had in the ATR, potentially. Yeah. Not a fun bug at all. Those ships look like they're on a collision course. Apparently Seafront Simulation said as well, if you just jiggle the time a little bit as well, sometimes it can help with the ship spawning a bit better. So let's just give that a try. Although what we could do as well is just real quick, because we're on VATSIM here, we could also come in here. Just, oh, it's already on 100. Okay, never mind. So, say goodbye to Portugal. Or mainland Portugal, at least. I love the line in the changelog that mentions study level ding-dongs. I didn't actually see that, Chris. That's amazing. The ding-dongs do feel very study level, I have to say. Yes, that's it, Farath. Welcome to the chat, Farath, by the way. That is how you get rid of the white box. You just need to move your mouse, essentially. Buzzsaw sounds much better. Yeah, it does sound great, doesn't it? It does sound great. Cabin ambience, FS Realistic. Yes, I do have cabin ambience on in FS Realistic, albeit it is pretty quiet because obviously in the flight deck where we spend a lot of our time, we wouldn't really hear it that loud, would you? There we go. Turned it up a tiny bit there. It goes off randomly after you do the cabin call. Amir said they did that to simulate the cabin crew confirming ready. Oh, that's amazing, dude. That's amazing. Yeah. Trust Fenix to do something that great. That's really nice. Really nice little touch, isn't it, really? Very nice. Chicago Horror, thank you very much for subscribing. Much appreciated. Sorry I missed your notification earlier on. For some reason, it doesn't appear to have come up in my list here. Apologies for that. But welcome nevertheless. Let's replay it. Just because I missed it. Thank you very much, my dude. Bobby, you have active ice now in Microsoft Flight Simulator? Yes, I do. I've turned icing back on. So I've basically followed all the Fenix recommendations. So I've got icing back on now. Although it's not visual in the Fenix yet, they said. And I've turned turbulence to low because that's what they recommended. And set my side stick curves to linear. My engines are on, but the blades are not spinning, says FaZe. Interesting. That sounds odd. I mean, you're getting N1 and N2 rotations on the ECAM. Right, let's get back to this question from Bobby. Bobby asked earlier on, when you set out streaming flight sim, do you have a goal for how many followers you want to accumulate? Or do you just wing it and go with the flow? Yeah, no, I didn't really have a goal for how many followers, etc. Yeah, I just sort of did it because I enjoyed it, and yeah, I don't really have a goal as such, really. I mean, obviously, I just tried to sort of appreciate the growth when it happened, and yeah, I didn't really have a target as such. I think the target that I wanted to fulfill more than that was just to try and be consistent and try and sort of meet my own wants in terms of the quality of the stream and the type of content I wanted to produce. And I tried to focus a little bit more on you know, the content and the format of the stream and the look of the stream. And obviously, you know, trying to be consistent with it as well. That's more what I was sort of using as a goal, if you like, rather than a number of followers. Oh, dude. Shuts. I completely forgot about that, actually. Self-loading cargo. Yes, I did download the update, but I wanted to try it today, actually, but I've just totally forgotten about that one. Crikey. I'll have to try it next time. Apparently, Fenix to GSX, though. Apparently, that doesn't play very well with self-loading cargo, which is a bit... yeah, that could be a bit off-putting, but... Yeah, we'll definitely have to try that next stream, because, yeah, I've been waiting for that update for so long now. Is Seafront Simulation ships heavy on FPS? It depends on your settings, what you have set and what you're currently doing in the sim and where you are. It's not really heavy at the moment from where we are because we're flying over the sea and quite close to the coastline, which I suppose you would expect if you were seeing Seafront Simulations in the sim. But it depends where you are. I mean, certain areas, it depends what pack you're using as well. Like, for example, when we arrive in the Azores, there is a Seafront Simulations pack specifically for those the archipelago of islands there. So there's going to be more ships than normal around that area. So yeah, there probably is some FPS impact. It's not much though, from what I remember, but we'll see once we arrive, and you can see it's really my first time fully testing out all of these Seafront Simulations add-ons, because up until now, I've only really owned the Seafront Simulations Madeira package. So, yeah, it's kind of my first time testing out their global shipping and the enhanced AI. Leisure boats I have turned up as well. Oh, you think I should turn those up to 100 as well? Let's do that. Okay, let's do that. Whoop! There we go. See how that works. I think maybe we'll just wiggle the time again a little bit. They have really, really good night lighting on the boats as well, so we'll have to check that out once we arrive. The night lighting is very, very cool on them. It looks great. Soren, thank you very much. I'm glad you guys can see the quality, you know. I have put quite a bit of effort into that, so I appreciate that people can actually see that. Oh, there's a ship. I'm going to be pointing out every ship on this trip, chat. There she blows. Not sure what that little white squiggle is next to it there. Oh, is that a wake? I don't know what's going on there. Liana says, I'm not a streamer, but I do know that if you're a new streamer, fret about the numbers of followers, you're going to struggle. You should stream as if you have hundreds watching. Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to begin, because if you just sort of, you know, see that you've got like 0 viewers or whatever, and then you're just, you know, being very quiet and just sort of sat there just doing your thing without really saying much, and then trying to engage with people who might be there but not necessarily active in the chat, they're probably just going to leave because they get bored. So yeah, I suppose it's quite important to pretend that you've got a lot of people watching when, even if you don't. And yeah, worrying about followers, it's just gonna, yeah, I suppose it's just something that if you keep too close an eye on it, it's just gonna, you know, you might be disappointed with what you see or the results you're getting, and it's just going to put you off. And yeah, I suppose that shouldn't really be your focus, I guess, is I think what Liana is trying to say. And I think I do agree with that. It's not bad to have goals, but it's, yeah, I think you should really focus on the content first and foremost. MPS says, I have self-loading cargo, but I've not installed it and not used that for a very long time. Yeah, MPS, me too. I haven't used that self-loading cargo in absolutely ages because it was just a bit buggy in its 1.6, I think? In its 1.5 state. It was very, very buggy, and it tended to crash a lot for me. But they just released a massive update for MPS. I don't know if you've seen that, but it might be worth checking that out because they've completely overhauled it, and it looks a lot better. And yeah, I'm looking forward to using it. It's just I completely forgot to use it this stream. I actually do have it installed. Dennis, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Late to the party. Better late than never, my friend. Welcome indeed. Welcome indeed. Right, chat. I am just going to nip away. Really need a wee, so I'll be back with you in a couple of moments. Right, chat, we're back. Have we seen any more ships? That is the question. Let's have a look, shall we? Not seeing any more, but have they changed the contrails? No, the contrails look about the same, don't they? Lovely stuff. Right. I see FlowPro have taken the landing rate custom widget into the core product too. They have indeed, yes. Yes, we tried that out last stream. We tried it out last stream. It's really nice. It's really a nice little add-on, and it's great to see that they're sort of you know, taking, you know, freeware developers' work on board, and, you know, hopefully they're compensating them accordingly, which is which, you know, you love to see. I think it's time for a beer chat. I think it's time. What have we got? We've got a Brewdog. We've got a Brewdog Hazy Jane. Type 1 in the chat if you like a Brewdog Hazy Jane. Hazy Jane. You have to try flying over the channel. A lot of ships sailing to the port of Rotterdam. Keep talking. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, Roy. Absolutely. Yeah, I'll have to give that a try. Takes years to build a following. Yeah, it certainly does. It certainly does. Bobby said, just recently watched a BBC documentary on the logistical nightmare when the Evergreen cargo ship got stuck in the Suez Canal. Our trading infrastructure is just so fragile. Yeah, that looked like an absolute mess, didn't it? It looked like a mess. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, it's such an important route, isn't it? And obviously they're not accounted for ships getting stuck like that, but maybe now in the future it will, you know, they'll do some kind of preventative measure. Who knows? But yeah, it seems that way, doesn't it, Bobby? When are we getting back in the Comanche? Says Schutz. Very good question, Schutz. I'm hoping very soon, because I really love it and I want to fly it again. I know I said my plan was to try and do a stream with that this week, but I just don't know if I've quite got the time to plan that out properly. As you know, you guys know I like to do a bit of planning and do it properly. So yeah, hopefully within the next couple of weeks, I'm going to say. Maybe we'll pull it out the bag and do one on Sunday. We are streaming on Sunday, by the way. I've just not, you know, planned what we're doing yet. So maybe we'll pull it out the bag and do it on Sunday. But soon is the aim. Within 2 weeks, I'll say. But yeah, I really want to get back in that because I absolutely love it. I think they've released a couple of updates as well since we last flew it. So looking forward to checking those out as well. All right. I'm not doing a return today, no, Craig. Unfortunately, no. It's just I had to start a bit later than usual today because of work, and it's a fairly lengthy flight this to do a return as well. I do need to go and have some tea at some point, but not today, unfortunately. A couple of you guys enjoying the Hazy Janes. You love to see it. Very, very nice. I think I'm just going to have this one, though, because I haven't had any tea yet, so this is probably going to go straight to my head. Cheers, indeed. Cheers to you too, Copper. What's my opinion on V2? It seems very nice so far, Beluga. It seems very nice. I've not gone through the checklist with... not the checklist. I've not gone through the changelog with a fine-tooth comb. But what I have seen so far is very, very nice indeed. Yeah, it does seem to be very, very nice. I'm getting some display stuttering, but apparently I can fix that by changing an option. But yeah, I like it. It's really, really nice. I think the sounds are very, very... Ooh. This dimming on the displays looks a bit different as well. It seems to dim more at the edges, which you love to see. But yeah, it's real nice. I mean, I can't lie. You know, during normal operations, I don't feel like there's a lot of changes, but it's all quite sort of subtle in a way, isn't it? It's not super, super in your face. Like, I know the sounds are pretty big, and the crosswind handling does seem to be quite a bit improved, which is very, very nice. I do need to tweak my rudder pedal sensitivity, because as you guys probably noticed on the takeoff roll there, that was quite squirmy. So yeah, I think it is a very nice update, and I mean, I can't really fault them. You know, they're bringing out a huge update for free, and it's got some really, really nice changes in it. The performance seems a lot better, although we are flying over water currently. So yeah, can't fault it at all. Still sat in the hangar in the US. It is shut, so yeah. Actually, let's just say it's still being manufactured, maybe. I haven't had a chance to do the repaint either, that's the point. Can't get Brewdog here, where I'm in Spain, but I like the Elvis one. Elvis juice, yeah, I do like that as well. Yeah, I can't drink too much of that, though. It's quite strong, quite sweet, isn't it? But it is nice. Shame you can't get it in Spain, though, dude. I think British Airways actually have a partnership with Brewdog now as well. They've got a beer that they serve on their flights called... it's a Brewdog beer. It's called Speedbird Dog, I think. I have to try that sometime. AC, good evening. Welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. Handle surprisingly good in VR. Really great. Good. Glad to hear it, Roy. I think previously it was a bit of a no-go in VR, wasn't it, the Fenix? Right, guys. So, let's give you a little rundown of this Fenix to GSX situation, because some of you may have already downloaded it and have a crack with it while we're on the stream here, but if you guys did not catch the start of the stream, we're using another little add-on today. It has actually a little separate app that runs, and basically what it does is it synchronizes the Fenix payload system with the Fenix. It also synchronizes various other surfaces in GSX with the Fenix. So you guys probably noticed the only time I really opened up the GSX menu while we were doing the setup was to request pushback, which is really cool. And this is the interface here. So yeah, as you can see, there's a bunch of options here. You've got the connection status at the top. You can have it to reposition the plane on startup via GSX, which is really, really nice, because as some of you guys may know, that obviously if you're using a custom GSX profile for a certain airport, they have much more accurate parking positions than sometimes what the Scenery has by default. So that's quite a nice one that does it automatically when you first load in. And then you can call the refuel service automatically when you import the flight plan on the EFB, which we saw earlier. And then call the catering service together with the refuel service, which again is what we did earlier, which is nice. And then automatically start boarding when refuel and catering are finished. And automatically start deboarding on arrival after the beacon is off. So that's really cool as well. So after we arrive at the stand, we'll turn the beacon off and it'll automatically request deboarding. So it'll put the stairs up to the aircraft or the jetway, and then the buses will come and the baggage carts will go and collect the baggage, and the conveyors will go into place as well, which is really, really cool, because obviously that's how it would happen in real life. You know, you turn the beacon light off and then the ground crew will then approach the aircraft and start doing this stuff. So that's really nice. And then you can disable crew deboarding and boarding as well, and you can suppress the the pop-up for that as well, which is nice. You've got a refuel rate, and then you've got some other ground handling stuff here. So you've got automatic jetways and stairs on startup, departure, and arrival. Also very nice. You can also do a automatic connection of the PCA, which is the preconditioned air, which is, you know, basically give you air conditioning while you're on the ground, and you can have that only on jetways. And then synchronize the bypass pin state during pushback. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier on. And yeah, basically it triggers the ECAM message for nose wheel steering disconnected in the Fenix. Now, it basically syncs it up with the animation and the audio messages, which is also quite nice, because previously I think as soon as you clicked pushback in GSX, it would say on the ECAM nose wheel steering disconnected immediately, even though they've not actually put the pin in yet in the animation. So again, that's quite nice. And then you've got some volume control as well, which is quite cool. So basically what you can do is you can actually, if I come down here, you can actually use the volume controls on the audio control panels here to change the volume. So you've got control GSX app volume via the intercom knob here. So you can basically adjust this knob volume, and it will adjust the volume of GSX, which is quite nifty. And then you've got the custom app audio volume. Now, I'm not entirely sure what the custom app audio is, to be quite honest with you. I don't know if this GSX app audio is maybe like the voices and stuff, and then the custom app audio is potentially the... Oh, I see what it is, actually. Sorry. Custom app audio. So if you tick that there, you can set a custom app here. So, for example, VPilot. And basically you can control the volume of VPilot, say, for example, or you can change that to a different application using the VHF1 knob, which is actually really nice. It's really nice, that, because at the moment you can't control VPilot using the knobs in the aircraft. In X-Plane, using X-Pilot, you can actually use the volume knobs here in the aircraft to change the volume of, you know, the radios as you would do in the real aircraft. So that's a pretty nice one, actually. And then you can mute and unmute as well, which is pretty nifty, but I'm not going to use that because I actually control that using my GoXLR anyway. Yeah, so there you go. That is Fenix to GSX. It's really nice, actually. Really, really nice. The unfortunate thing about it is, and we'll have to test this, is that it doesn't work very well with self-loading cargo, apparently, but we'll have to try that in the next stream, I think. Any more ships? Any more ships? No more ships. Yeah, it's definitely worth a try. I mean, you have to install a couple of things like a MobiFlight add-on. You have to download some .NET 7 framework as well. But it's, you know, it's not a big deal, is it? Personally, I think it's worth doing if you fly the Fenix a lot. Is it plug and play? No, it's not plug and play, Bobby. There is a few things to do. It's not super complicated. It's pretty easy. And you can literally just follow the instructions on the GitHub page for Fenix to GSX. So it's not difficult, but it's not plug and play. FPS per screen is around 45 in VR. Roy, that's really nice, actually. That sounds really good. Glad to hear it. That's nice. Yeah, definitely recommend giving it a try, guys. It is really nice. I mean, it worked flawlessly. You guys saw during the departure, it worked absolutely flawlessly. And it basically just, I mean, in my opinion, it sort of fixes a lot of the things that I've wanted GSX to do for ages, and yeah, I absolutely love it. These options should be available in GSX as standard. What do you guys think? Yeah, so the thing is, Roy, these options are basically, they sort of are in GSX, if you know what I mean. So developers can access various different variables that GSX makes available to do stuff like this. That's how this guy's built this application, I assume. So it is sort of there, but it's not really user accessible. Basically, what you would need to do as a developer for an aircraft is build in that integration. So similar to how Flybywire have done it. Obviously, theirs is not perfect, but you know, theoretically, an aircraft developer could build that integration into the aircraft. I think the issue with GSX is, and the reason why it's not built in as standard, and I mean, I appreciate it would be fantastic to have it as standard, but I can also appreciate why Umberto doesn't include that as standard, and it's because, you know, all the different aircraft are going to have lots of different triggers and variables. Some of them are not going to use standard sim events and various different things to achieve certain different tasks. So the issue Umberto would have is with every single different aircraft, there would be so many, you know, different configurations and setup required for so many different aircraft, and it would just be you know, very, very difficult for him to maintain and support, I imagine, especially if there's an update to an aircraft and it changes everything. So I guess that's probably why he's decided to make it available for developers to use those as options rather than building it in himself. I think that's probably why he's done it that way. So yeah, just my thoughts. Flyby I've done is about all that's possible right now. Oh, I see. Yes, sorry. Yeah. Okay, I get you, Liana. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. So, yeah, I'm overlooking something, aren't I? So, what you have to install is, as part of Fenix to GSX, is you have to install the MobiFlight event module. So, yeah, probably he's doing some cheeky things with MobiFlight events that yeah, probably not available to developers in GSX at the moment. So yeah, I sort of partially take that back, I guess, but yeah, I think the general idea is the same, but I think, yeah, Fenix to GSX, I guess, just takes it a little bit step further using non-official means, but it works really flawlessly, actually, so I'm very impressed with it. So yeah, props to the developer. What's the developer's name, actually? I forget right now. Fragility. Yeah, props to Fragility. Thank you very much for this fantastic little application. Really enjoy it. Really enjoy it. So he did Fenix Quartz as well. Yes. Got you. Yeah. Yeah, I've not tried Fenix Quartz yet. I mean, obviously, I don't have hardware for it, but yeah, I might be giving that a try. Maybe when the mini FCU arrives, potentially. Lovely stuff. Okay. How are we doing then? So we're approaching our equitime point. Well, when I say we're approaching it, we're 160 miles away from it, 170. So due to arrive at 2018 Zulu. So still about an hour and 40 minutes to go. It seems like the alternate still doesn't get filled out properly in the Fenix. I don't know if this is a bug, but it just still doesn't seem like that gets filled out. Let me just see if I actually clear this out. Let's see what happens. We'll just give it a minute. Optimal flight level according to the aircraft flight level 350 in fact. Yeah, it's still nothing. Route reserve has gone down to 0 as well. I could have sworn I set that to 0.6, but I can't change it now because it's gone green. We do have 0.9 extra though, which is more than our route reserve, so no issues there. Alrighty. So, let's have a look at the approaches that we've got into Horta then, shall we? Let's have a bit of a browse. PMDG HD notes that bug still not fixed yet, he said. Yeah, it does seem to be a bug potentially, doesn't it? Alright, so LPHR, let's just have a quick look at the weather updated. We've got 1800 Zulu, so a little bit old, but not the end of the world. Winds 140 at 9 knots. I mean, the weather looks okay, really, but we would be looking actually probably to do a runway 10 arrival. Now, I think we planned for 28, didn't we? We did, yeah. So, yeah, we'll probably be doing a 10 now. So we've got quite a few here. We've got RMP approaches. Oh, look at this guy, though. Come on now. That looks like great fun. Couple of little radius to fixed legs there. Love to see it. And then that big one on the go-around as well. Nice. So we've got the RMP Zulu, we've got Yankee, which is sort of from the north. All of these are authorization required as well, by the way. So we'll assume we've got the authorization. Very nice. Very nice. So you've got this volcano as well, don't you? Just off on Pico, which I believe has a handcrafted airport actually with the Iberia update, I think. Alrighty. So yeah, we'll probably do this one, the RMP Zulu, I imagine. Let's have a look at the NDB ones though, just for fun. Oh, look at this one though. Come on now. This one's pretty interesting. The Horta locator arrival. You can either do it based on a VOR or a NDB, and you've basically got you fly in to the locator and take a right turn number 261 degrees, and then you just do a visual, I guess, from there. Well, from 2.5 miles. That's pretty interesting. So that's locator alpha. I guess this is probably more appropriate for runway 10. And then you've got this one, which is probably a bit more appropriate for runway 28. So you just take that right turn rather than having to do like a big sort of S. Yeah, pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. I'm kind of tempted, I can't lie. I'm kind of tempted to try one of these. So what have we got? We've got a minimum 880 there for Cat C. interesting. So you got 880 there, 2.5 miles. You should probably get to 880 around there, right? And then you've still got all this distance to cover. Seems like quite a long way, but it might not be. I don't know. Guys, what do we want to do in the chat? Let me know. You want to do the Horta locator alpha approach with a visual segment, or we're going to do the RMP Zulu runway 10 with the nice curvy radius to fix arrival in final lap mode, which I'm equally happy to do. The weather is good there, not much cloud reported if I remember correctly. Not a few clouds at 1,600, so we should be fine to do either. Let me know what you think. Oh, Liana, you're right. What the hell? Yeah, this same track's been playing for ages, hasn't it? Why has it not gone to different tracks? I apologise. I thought it would just carry on playing different tracks on its own. Still getting used to epidemic sound here. Right, new music. I didn't even notice, to be honest. Not the best track to have playing on repeat either, is it really? Thank you very much for that, Liana. JSim Aviation, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Haven't tried the Fenix V2 just yet, but can I get an honest answer about how big the performance improvement is? Well, this is just my first flight, JSim Aviation. So I don't really have a very good basis of comparison at the moment, because this flight's probably not the best flight to test that, given that it's mostly over water. I think probably a better comparison would be when, you know, we're flying out of a bit of a busier airport, like, I don't know, Brussels, Heathrow, something like that. Because those are airports that I've flown out of a lot more. I've flown out of Lisbon a fair amount of times, but I mean, I don't know. Departing out of Lisbon just now, it did feel a good amount smoother, is all I'll really say, because I don't really look at my FPS too often, and I don't really pay too much attention to it. As long as it's not just like crawling at like 10 FPS, I usually just crack on. But yeah, I mean, it was noticeably smoother, I think, is probably the best thing to say for our departure. We're obviously over water. We've been over water for quite a while now, so FPS is looking pretty healthy. But yeah, it seems nice, but this is my first flight. I don't really have a good, you know, yeah, I haven't really tested it enough to give a really good answer on how big the performance improvement is. It's not like crazy. I wouldn't say it's like a crazy big improvement, but it's definitely better. I think that's the best way to put it. Roy would say the RNP. Okay, so we've got one vote for the RNP so far. I don't see anyone else in the chat contributing. So one vote for the RNP. So it's going to be the RNP if nobody else gets involved. We've got the locator, alpha approach, or the RNP Zulu. Liana says earliest releases since patch since absolutely hammering my CPU to 80 to 100% overall. Crikey, that is a lot. Oops. What am I on at the moment? I'm on 50% CPU, but only 25% is that from Microsoft Flight Simulator. Wait, that doesn't add up. Let's see. Yeah, utilization at the moment is around 40 to 50% total. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. GPU is pegged at about 100%, 97, 98%. So that's probably why we're getting the display stuttering, I guess. Only had a brief look to see if the latest patch fixed that, and it did. Slightly higher frames, it's saying, but that was higher frames than before that. Well, that's good. That sounds like an improvement. Lovely stuff. No worries, JSIM Aviation. No worries at all. Hope that was useful for you. Liana says locator approach might be more interesting. It definitely will be. Bobby's saying locator approach as well. A bit more manual. Oh, a lot more manual. Yeah, it's basically like a circle to land, isn't it? Yeah, it's pretty much a circle to land, so yeah. Alright, let's do the locator alpha then. Won't be a sec, chats. Right. So we're going to do the locator alpha approach. Let's have a look. See if we can get this coded in then. Let's see if it's in the nav data. So, NDB alpha 10. Oh, hang on a minute. What is going on with the pressurization page here? Why is that? The pressurization page seems to come up on its own. We'll just ignore that for now. Yeah, so we've got NDB alpha 10 and 28. So there are some NDB approaches. We're going to ignore those. Ah, okay. So they're not actually in the nav data. The approaches that we were looking at. Hang on. NDB Alpha and NDB Bravo. They both seem to be for runway 10. Right. 1 second, chat. Bear with me and we'll work this out. Alrighty, so got these clouds coming in as expected. Right, so let's see if we can work this out then. So we're just going to press NDB Alpha. I don't think these are going to be the right ones though. Let's just try NDB Alpha 28 here. Let's just see how that looks. So we've got Velas to Horta and MQ261. Yeah, so this looks correct. This looks correct actually. Now, it was in the MCDU as runway 28 approach. So I wonder if maybe they use that more often for 28. I don't know. I mean, obviously on the chart there's no runway specified. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think what we'll do is, just for fun, just to make it a little bit more interesting, I suppose, is let's just do a circle to land from this approach. Because why not, right? It is, you can do a circle to land, just not north of the runway, which is fine. That's what we're going to do. So we can actually clear this disco out because it's basically from Velas direct to the Horta VOR. Sorry, that's an NDB, isn't it? That is an NDB. Okay. So we'll remove that. We'll insert that. We'll tune the Horta, or we'll hard tune the Horta NDBs. So that's that. And then, I mean, I suppose just for backup, we'll tune the VORs as well. Not necessarily super required, but we can do that. And then we'll use a secondary flight plan as well. So we'll copy the active. And then we'll basically just change the arrival to a runway 10. So that's what we're going to be landing on with no star. So that should basically just change the plan to that. Interesting that it's not put a discontinuity there though. I feel like I don't want this stuff above it, so what I want to do is when I activate the secondary, I want it to sequence to the center fix straight away. If I just delete Bavas. No, that didn't work as I wanted it to. Okay, we'll just go in it and we'll go LPHR. Then we'll come back here and we'll just set it up like this. 10. No star. So that should then just give us that final leg there. Okay, that's good. Alrighty then, so that's all set. So what we'll basically do is when we're on downwind, we'll activate the secondary. And that'll all be good. Actually, that being said, we'll probably do that again, so that we don't have to do the perf page twice. The landing perf page, that is. Or the approach page. Alrighty, well, we'll leave that as it is for now because we do still have a fair way to go here. Optimal, we're currently at the optimal as well. I'd love to see that. LPHR 10, that's good. Right, so 2011. So still got about an hour to go. Pressurization page keeps... I think that's when I click on my second monitor, maybe. It's clicking that button for some reason. Maybe. Right. Liana put a picture of the CPU usage on Discord. Yes, I saw that one. Where's my Discord gone? Yeah, that's pretty heavy CPU usage. Yeah, they're glad to see they fixed that though. At least that's a lot of CPU. Alrighty, how long is this runway then? It is 1,595 meters, chat. 5,233 feet, very short runway. So this could go poorly. This could go quite poorly. But we'll see. We shall see. My first landing in the Fenix V2, so it also might be an awful landing, but we shall see. Craig says about GSX and self-loaded cargo, they don't play well. sounds wise. Ah, yes, that's the point. Yeah. Well, the thing is with self-loading cargo is you can disable some of the sounds or turn them down in the options menu. So it might be worth just looking at turning them down, or vice versa. I suppose you could turn the GSX sounds down, but then probably wouldn't have like the the other audio that you want for like pushback and that. So I would probably just personally turn down some of the self-loading cargo sounds. Like, for example, the boarding music you can have turned up maybe, and then you can just turn down maybe maybe some of the cabin crew or the boarding or the ambient sounds. Might be worth just messing with that. There are a few different sliders. At least there was in the last version. I'm sure it's still there. So yeah, I'll probably look at just turning some stuff down. In fact, let me just see. Do I do have it installed, but let me just see if I can... let's load it up and see if I can bring the applications options menu up. Ah, no, I don't think it doesn't let you actually use the options menu until it's connected to the sim. Actually, no, let's just try this. Ah, okay, interesting. We're not using time acceleration for the reference chat. It's probably just because we've... Oh, hang on a minute. Let's see what happens if I do this. Okay. It's very blurry looking, the interface, isn't it? Maybe it's because it needs to be bigger. There we go. Interesting, interesting. So you can add more aircraft layouts. I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just trying to get to the options menu, really. Can you sim brief it? You used to be able to sim brief it. Ah, there we go. Okay, so it's letting me open the settings now. There we go. So yeah, if you come to the options menu and sounds, you've got all these different tabs here. So you could turn down... Oh, look at this door thickness. That's a new one. Yeah, that's really cool, actually. I wonder how it knows whether the cockpit door's closed or not. I like that. That is really cool. Then you've got the captain's voice. You can turn the volume down on that. Cabin crew voices. Yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of different ways you can customize self-loaded cargo in terms of the sound. So I'd probably just go through those and see what adds and what doesn't. So many options. Technical issues throughout the flight, medical issues, and cabin in-flight services. Very nice. Yeah, look forward to giving that a go properly, but hopefully that answers your question, Craig. Now, how do I close this guy? There we go. Oh, you can actually access the settings without starting a flight by right-clicking on the tray icon and clicking on settings that way. Let's see. Brazimo Gaming, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. How's the Fenix performance after the update? Have I gained some FPS? I have indeed, yes. It seems like it's a noticeable improvement, as I was saying. Someone asked me this earlier on. The flight I'm doing at the moment, it's not really a great comparison. I'm not going to repeat myself for the sake of everyone in the chat, but it's not a great comparison, but nevertheless, I've definitely, you know, it is better performance than what it was before. Is self-loading cargo worth the money? Now, yeah, good question, Roy. I mean, I used to really enjoy self-loading cargo previously when I used it earlier on, you know, Microsoft Flight Simulator, more or less, you know, in the first year, I say, with Microsoft Flight Simulator came out. I really enjoyed it personally. I really liked it because it gave you like a rating on your flight and, you know, the passenger satisfaction rating, and it gave you the landing rate and all sorts of stuff. And it was really interesting. And, you know, there's a bit of interaction with the passengers and things like that. And you can see the manifest and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I thought it was quite cool. But nowadays, you know, we've got so many options for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think for some people it might be redundant, maybe. I don't know. Like, for example, flying on Newsky, we get a pilot rating on Newsky now, so that aspect of self-loading cargo is maybe not as important for some people. And then on, you know, on Newsky we also get a landing report and all that jazz. So I suppose it depends what you want it for, really. Obviously, it's got a passenger simulation where it simulates, you know, what's going on in the cabin. It simulates the passengers' moods, you know, their wants, their needs, and obviously what your cabin crew does affects them. How you fly the flight affects them, and various other factors. So it is quite a cool, in-depth passenger simulation. Yeah, so I suppose it depends what you want, really. We'll definitely have to try and give it a go in another stream fairly soon, and maybe I can answer that a little bit better. But when I first purchased it a long time ago, you know, it was only like 15 British pounds, I think, because it was like an early access or something. And I mean, for that price, I got a lot of use out of it, and so I would say it was worth it. But nowadays, it's a bit of a different scene that we find ourselves in, so maybe it's different now. So yeah, we'll have a look at it in a future stream. So it would be close to Pack X. Mumbles, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Yes, it's very similar to Pack X, yes, or PAX. Still only £16 or so for now. Yeah. Oh, good. So yeah, so it still must be on the early access pricing. Alrighty then, chat. We are cruising on. I've got the tank temperature now as well. I'm not sure that was there before. Or the fuel temperature, sorry. You know what's one thing that really annoys me, chat? So, I recently purchased a new car. I say new to me. It's a used car. It's BMW, right? And there is no way of seeing your oil temperature or your coolant temperature by default through, you know, the instrument cluster like you can on basically every other car in the world. I was just like, why? You can see it through like the service menu and that, but that's obviously not a menu you want to be going through while you're driving. So yeah, absolutely baffled me. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, everything looking very nice indeed. Nice and cool in the cabin. Also, interestingly, this all button started on, I think it started on electric, which seems a little bit odd. I also thought it was supposed to scroll through these pages sequentially rather than going back to the cruise page each time. But I may be wrong about that one. Might be because the pressure page got pressed at some point. That might be why. Very good. Unfortunately, they only accept a credit card, which I don't have, hence the question. Oh, I see, Roy. I see. Interesting. Do they not take PayPal? Okay then, guys, so I'm going to say it. If you're enjoying the stream so far, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. I would really appreciate it, and it does really help out the stream. It actually really does. They don't accept PayPal. Oh, strange. Okay. Yeah. That's a bit awkward then, isn't it? Yeah, unfortunate, Roy. Unfortunate. I mean, if you really wanted to get it, you know, I'd be happy to get it for you, and you know, we could arrange the funds some other way. Did they update the textures as well? I feel like the textures look a bit more crisp, you know, on the wings than the engines. Might be wrong about that, but everything just looks a bit crisp. Maybe it's just because I've not flown the sim in a while. And when you've not flown the sim in a while, sort of, you know, you don't take certain things for granted as much as what you do when you do it regularly, I suppose. Everything looks really nice though, doesn't it? Right, Bavas is coming up. We've got our top of descent showing now on the ND in 260-ish miles. 263 to be precise. Just under an hour to go, 50 minutes. Let's see how long to our top of descent, probably about half an hour, right, or so. 1954. Yeah, so about 35 minutes. Right, well, let's check through our arrival then and make sure we've got everything plugged in correctly. So we've got the NOTMA 2 Echo in. So at NOTMA we've got 250 knots above altitude 5,000, which is correct. Then we've got Elben. Speed max 250 and above altitude 5,000 feet, which is all good there. And then Velas, 220 knots speed and above 5,000 feet. So that's all correct. And then from Velas, we're going to start the approach, basically flying from Velas direct to Hotel Tango. It should be a bearing of 245, which is correct in there. That's all good. No restrictions, obviously, but I think what we're going to do is we'll aim to get more or less fully configured before when we leave Velas, I think. Velas is 15 miles from the Hotel Tango. And I think we want to be fully configured by 10 miles Hotel Tango. It's obviously a non-precision approach. We want to, yeah, make sure that we're fully configured. And then we've got 0 degrees here, so we can't fly this approach managed. We can't do a non-precision approach in managed mode, so we'll have to use selected modes to do the approach. That's fine. And then Mike Quebec 261, 1,200 feet, which is not actually correct. 1,200 feet should be at Hotel Tango, really. So above 1,200. Well, we're doing a circle to land anyway. So we can probably roll with those constraints. I don't think I'm going to bother changing those. Sonny147 coming in with the £16 super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. Very generous. Go get whatever it is with the Fuzzers help. Dude, that's amazing. That is amazing. We'll definitely have to hook Roy up with a copy of Self-Loading Cargo then. There we go, Roy. Love to see it. Absolutely fantastic community. Thank you so much, Sonny. George, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing very well. Yeah, how are you? They cleaned up some top cockpit textures at least. Yes, they did, didn't they? Yeah, it does look a little bit fresher, doesn't it? It looks really nice, cockpit. I like the brightness as well. The brightness is very good. How's the performance? Performance seems good. Yeah. Yeah. 1650 Super, do you think Fenix will run? Good question, George. I'm not sure. I mean, as long as you meet the minimum specs for Microsoft Flight Simulator, Fenix should run. It's just how well it will run is the other question. Right. Can we get Horta Meta on here? No, we can't. No airports nearby. Right. Okay. Got the 1900 Zulu. Okay, that's fairly recent. I'm not going to put everything in because it most likely will change before we get there. And then our minima is going to be 880. And we're going to do a config full. Transition level was set to 6.0 because we've got no ATC online. And then the thrust reduction acceleration, not really sure what it would be for this airport. I would assume an ADP2 potentially. So we'll leave those as they are. Good. Alrighty, chat. Look at that. We can see the approach on the ND now. Love to see it. Very nice. Shall we do a performance calculation for the arrival? Now, this is where things might go pear-shaped. Because it is a very short runway. So, estimating 3.2 on board at the destination. The UTC at the time destination is not showing on this page anymore, which is rather bizarre. It's showing here, but not on here, which is a bit odd. So zero fuel weight is 57.8. So we're going to be 61.1 tons on arrival. So we're landing on runway 10. It's dry. Oh baby, we're going to be having to use max manual braking here, I think. Let's see, medium auto brake. Nope. Okay, max manual braking, and reverse is not going to do anything for us. It changed it by 20 meters, so we'll do that. We'll do auto thrust off as well, and flap full. So that is going to be the config for landing. Alrighty. So we won't select an auto brake. We're going to do max manual braking on landing then. Crikey. James Bond, welcome to the chat. Glad to have you. Hope you're doing well. RMP AI is used every day in the A320 in real life. Yeah, I imagine it probably is. Yeah, the RMP Zulu approaches. Yeah, probably I imagine they're more commonly used. But today we're going to be spicing it up a little bit with a bit of a circle to land situation. What is this track here? This is on Epidemic Sound. Crikey, this sounds... Don't get many songs with vocals in on Epidemic Sounds. Not all operators and crews are authorized, have the authorization. Yeah, I would imagine, Liana, that's a very good point. If you do max manual, doesn't that melt your tires? Well, it all depends really on various different factors, but you can you can use it. I don't think it will melt your tires unless you're landing somewhere extremely hot. You'll just end up with very hot brakes, so you might end up having to do a longer turnaround or something like that, depending on whether you're brake fans or not. Right, chat, I'll be back with you in just a moment. Alrighty, we're back. We're back, chat. So, I feel like this beer's just gone right through me. So, hence why I keep nipping away. Yeah, we'll have to see what the brake temperature's like when we touch down, chat. I think from what I've heard, I'm going to be honest, I very rarely look at my brake temperatures in the Fenix unless I am doing a turnaround and I've used medium or max manual, but I think from what I've heard, the brake temperature simulation in the Fenix is a little bit too conservative, I think. So they don't tend to get quite as hot as perhaps what they would do in the real world. So we'll see. Exactly, yeah, one-way flight, so no issues there. No issues there. Fly with the gear down. Yeah, I think that is actually a procedure, I believe. If you do a go around, I think. I may be wrong about this, but I think if you end up with somehow high brake temperatures and then you need to land again, I think you're supposed to leave the gear down or something like that. Oh no, wait, that's the Landing gear bay overheat procedure, isn't it? I think that's the one. That's the one. Right, how are we doing then, chat? How are we doing? So, I'm not going to pay too much attention to this actual top of descent here because this is probably going to be a little bit inaccurate due to the approach that we're flying. So, let's just set up some fixes on here, I think. So, we'll go LPHR 10. And we're flying at 360, so... So we're going to say about 118, let's say 116 miles to descent. Just takes it out a little bit further. That's fine. We're definitely going to do this descent a little bit on the conservative side because, again, we do want to be fully configured before we do the approach. We'll do LPHR 10. And we're going to do a 4-mile ring because we're going to be doing a circle to land. Oops, that's the wrong box. So that'll give us approximately just over 1,000 feet. And what we can also do is we'll take the runway heading, which is 099er. And we'll add 90 degrees, which is 189. Which will basically be a good indicator for when we're abeam the threshold. And we'll start our timer. And we're going to aim to be 1,000 feet AGL. So we are going to do a 30-second timer on the... once we pass a beam the threshold. We'll brief this all properly once we finish setting up here. I think that's all I want to set up, to be honest with you. Let's have a look. So there we go, we've got the 4-mile ring, we've got our indication for when we should start our timer, when we're abeam. And for the secondary, we've got a 5-mile final on there as well. That's fine. Let's change this actually just to 3. I think 3 might be a bit more nifty for us. Alright, good. So we're not really going to use the VNAV to too much... to a great degree for the descent, so... Not really going to get to test that, but that's fine. All in the name of having a bit of fun, right? Okay, chat. So we might as well do a arrival briefing, shall we? So let's have a look at our charts. So we're going to be arriving into Horta, Azores. This is an RNAV star. 10-2 Alpha chart, airport elevation 117. Transition level we've already noted as flight level 60. And this is an RNAV GNSS only approach. Or arrival, should I say. It's the Notma 2 Echo. Not going to be flying this Solgi here. for all runways. So the approach is going to bring us in from Notma. Max 250 knots there. Minimum altitude 5,000 feet, which we've already checked. Then we're going to come down to Elben. Max 250 knots there, and minimum altitude 5,000 feet. The same restriction there. And then continuing to Velas, which is our initial approach fix. Minimum altitude there 5,000 and max 220 knots. So slightly slower there, although once we get to Velas, we'll probably be flaps 2 at that point. Anyway, even though we'll be quite high, we're going to be doing a non-precision approach. So we will want to be starting to configure by that point. So from there, we're going to fly the Horta Locator Alpha approach. 16-3 charts. So the locator itself is the Horta Hotel Tango locator on frequency 360. Final approach course is 261 degrees, which is this bit here. Obviously, that's not the final onto the runway. And the final approach fix is at the Horta NDB at 1,200 feet. So the approach should be pretty interesting. So we're going to arrive at Velas as previously discussed, and we're going to head from Velas direct towards Horta NDB basically. That's direct. That's a inbound course of 245 degrees. And then for this leg here, that's what this number 1 is meaning. We have a minimum altitude of 3,500 feet. So from there, we're going to head 245 degrees inbound to the locator. At 10 miles, we're going to commence our descent. We want to be at 3,500 feet upon approaching 10 miles here, which is here. As you can see, this is applicable to Cat C aircraft, which is us. Now, this approach it's probably flown a little bit differently. I mean, I suppose you could probably fly it a couple of ways, couldn't you? You could potentially come in towards the locator. You could enter the hold like this and then head outbound and then back round. But we're not going to do that part of the approach here. We're just going to head straight in towards it. Because it's quiet and there's no reason not to. So at 10 miles, we want to be at 3,500 feet. And from there, we're going to aim to be fully configured, flaps full, gear down at 10 miles from the Horta NDB. Now, I think I need to do a bit of a calculation here. So we've got from 10 miles... we've got to descend from 3,500 feet to 1,200 feet. So that's a 10-mile distance. We're descending 2,300 feet. Which is quite a shallow descent, actually. probably somewhere in the region of about, what, 2.1 degrees or something like that. It doesn't actually say on here the descent angle. Yeah, so I don't know the maths to work that out off the top of my head. Maths on a Friday night. Yeah, please don't. 2,300 feet. We're descending over 10 miles. Let me just try and work this out real quick. We'll get the E6B out. I think an E6B can actually do this, can it? Maybe not. So what we're going to do, chat, we're just going to eyeball it. We need to be at... We need to be at the Horta locator at 1,200 feet, roughly. 1,200. I mean, to be honest with you, chat, we could just use... We could actually just use the VNav profile, because we have set it up to work in our favor here, so... Maybe we do that. Anyways, continuing 10 miles, like I say, fully configured. Then we're going to descend down. We might use des mode, but we might also just use a flight path angle of maybe 2 degrees or so. And then once reaching the Horta NDB, we want to be at 1,200 feet. And then from there, we want to basically continue out on a 261 track course to 2.5 miles, at which point we need to decide whether we're going to land or not. Now, the MDA here is 880 feet, but we'll be making our decision at 2.5 miles from the NDB, regardless of whether we are at the minimum or not, because we are going to be doing a circle to land from that point. So what we'll do is we'll still stay in the autopilot. From 2.5, we'll fly the reciprocal heading of 10, which is going to be 279er. So we'll fly 279 on a downwind leg. And we're just basically doing a bog standard circle to land. So we'll descend on down to 1,000 feet. Or we'll do 1,100 feet in this case. So above the airport elevation. And then once passing the threshold, we'll start a timer, 30 seconds. After 30 seconds has passed, we take a right turn. And we... in fact, we might not even need to be fully configured down here, to be honest with you, because we can get configured as we head downwind here, to be honest. So maybe we do this like flaps 2. And then we go... flaps 3 and gear down as we are coming onto the downwind here. So I think that's probably what we'll actually do, actually. Yeah, so we do that. We do that. That's fine. And then taxi in, it's quite straightforward. We're going to do max manual braking. We might need to come down to the end of the runway here. In fact, we probably will. As you can see, very short runway here, 1,595 meters. So we'll just backtrack and then Alpha to a stand. There's only 3 stands here. Very small airport. So the weather, let's just double check that one again. We've got 10 knots of wind at 140, so it should be a little bit challenging with the wind. Other than that, the weather looks fine, really. Nice and warm. Not too warm, though. Not. We don't need to do any high temperature procedures or anything like that. But we do have some terrain in the area. As you can see, just to the east of the airport, we've got this other island here. Pico, potentially, with a very, very large volcano on it. So, obviously that. And then the island of Horta itself has a volcano or a mountain on it as well, which is 3,684 feet. So, need to stay clear of north of the airfield. So, that's probably the main threat. Yeah, I think that should about do it for the arrival briefing. Obviously, runway length as well. So, we need to make sure we're not floating at all on the landing. If we float, we're going around. Gotta land within that touchdown zone for this approach. 1,000%. Pappy is 3 degrees. That's good to know. Good. Right. Okay, I think that about does it. I'm very nervous now, I will say. After all that. But there we go. I already looked on the E6BX website. Right, there is probably a standard sum that you can use to work out rate of descent over a given distance and altitude, but let's just crack on. It's not like super important for this approach anyway, because we are circling to land, so we've got a bit of extra track mileage, so we've got a bit of leeway to play with either way. Right, okay then. So, we've got everything plugged in correctly. We are all good there. Let's get the weather input now. So, let's just come back to here. Got the latest meta here. That's very nice. Winds 140 at 10. We've got 24 degrees temperature, and the QNH is still 1025. Everything else is set correctly. We'll go like this. We'll ignore that. That's fine. And then we'll go like that. Good. Okie dokes. So we're about at the top of descent here. We're not going to use auto brake, so we don't need to set that. And ready to rock and roll. Looks about 800 feet per minute at 200 knots or 900 feet per minute at 220. Okay, good to know. Good to know. George says your camera views changed. Do I have 2 cameras? No, just one. Just one. It just gets flipped. Okay, Split Notion, welcome to the chat. I think you managed to work out what the fuzz pad is there. I'd love to see it. Very nice. Okay, good. So, are you ready for this approach, chats? Hopefully I don't fudge it up. Oh, here we go. Here's the Azores. Maybe we'll get to see some boats coming in fairly soon. Fuzz it up, exactly. Hopefully not, Liana. Hopefully not. I can grab metal from Navigraph. I did indeed, yes. Indeed, Sonny, yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, so many places we can get meteors from. Crazy. Right, let's go down, chat. Here we go. Top of descent. Off we go. Unfortunately, these displays are lagging loads. But let's initially go down to flight level 80 and we'll pull thrust idle open descent. Flight level 80 blue. Off we go, chats. I'm actually going to go VS. We'll go VS 2200. No, 2000. Alrighty. Looking forward to this. Looking forward to this, guys. Type 1 in the chat if you think I'm going to fuzz it up. Looking forward to this. First approach in Fenix V2. They've changed the flight model, the fly-by-wire, and the flare, and all sorts of stuff. And I'm doing a circle to land. This should be very interesting. This might not end well, Mike. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. You should just be able to run through the calibration in the MCDU. It shouldn't be. It should definitely be doable after 2 balls. It seems like the majority here thinks I'm going to mess it up. We shall see. We shall see. Okay, so in the briefing I missed out a couple of bits actually. So we'll just jump back over here real quick. So obviously we're going to fly downwind from 2.5 miles. Now, while we're on the downwind, we're going to activate the secondary flight plan, which is should sequence the flight plan for a 5-mile final. We're not going to do a 5-mile final, but that should sequence the flight plan for the final approach for this runway that we're landing on, runway 10. And I think that's the only thing I missed actually, so that's fine. Good. Right. Back to the stream. So let's go over yonder and we'll come back to the secondary and we'll set this up again. So we'll just copy the active and then we'll go back to init here and we'll just put LPHR like this. And then we'll go arrival. Runway 10. So that's all good. Fantastic. Good. So that's all set. I'll need to make sure I double check the flight plan as well. Make sure it has actually sequenced to the center fix. But if we also go back to the perf page here, we should have everything that we've put in earlier on regarding the weather. That's all good. And we'll just throw in the minima here, which didn't copy over for whatever reason. That's fine. And then the go around is all set. Okay, good. Fan dabby dozy. Off we go. Looking out for the boats, chat. We've got the Seafront Simulations Azores installed, so we should see quite a lot of boats around these islands here. There's one. That looks like a shipping boat. Oh, we've got some ferries down there. some leisure cruises. Looks like we've got a bit of an issue with the satellite imagery here. We'll just ignore that. Maybe we'll see more when we get a little bit closer in. Piece of cake for you, well prepared. Yeah. If you say so, Roy. We'll see. Have a safe landing. Simulations. Welcome to the chat. I hope you're doing well. We shall try. I don't know if you've heard the briefing, but we shall very much try our best. Looks like a massive bed sheet. It does a bit, doesn't it? Oh, it's gone now. Oh, thank God. That actually looks pretty goddamn nice now, doesn't it? That's really nice. Is this ship leaving the harbour there? Looks like it might be. Love to see it. Little airport down there. So Inibuilds just released a scenery for one of these islands, didn't they? They released Ponta Delgado, which is one of the Azores airports. It's been snowing there. Yeah, it kind of looked like snow, didn't it? But I can't imagine they get much snow here, ever. Here we go then, chat. This is the big volcano that we discussed. Oh, we got... Oh, no. I thought this spec was a ship, but it's actually just dirt on the screen, on the screen there. Is the airport you're flying to Payware? It is indeed, Mike. Yes, it is by Simulations, who is also in the chat. By the looks of things, yeah, Simulations have done the scenery for this one. Of course, it does exist in the sim without having to buy the payware, but the payware is kind of nice, so you'll see. You'll see. You know what we could also do here as well, just to help us out a little bit, is we could put some more fixes in here just to, again, map things out a little bit. So we'll go HT, we'll do a place bearing distance. So we'll do HT bearing 066 and 10 miles. Okay, that's not worked. Maybe I need to come over here and do it this way first of all. New waypoint. So we'll just call it HT 10. And it's going to be HT bearing 066, 10 miles. And we'll put it in here. There we go. And we'll store that. So then we'll come into the flight plan page. We'll put in HT10. And then see we've got a mark along our flight plan here. HT10. It seems a little off, actually. Hang on. Oh, 0. It should be 065. Okay. Let's do that again. So... I can't amend it. That's fine. It's not a problem. I mean, I suppose what we could have done that would have been much easier than that, actually. I'm taking the long way around. We could have just gone HT like this and just put in 10 miles there. That would have been a lot easier, wouldn't it? So if we then go back here and then we come here, you can see we've got the 10-mile ring there, which is fine. Lovely stuff. Okay, fine. It's Cape Verde down there somewhere. I'm not sure. I don't know the Azores too well, so I'm not sure, Sonny. Mikhail, welcome to the chat. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Waiting for my flight right now back to East Midlands. Oh, very nice. What airport are you at, Mikhail? 7th flight in 2 weeks. Crikey, that is a lot of flying. I'm jealous. I haven't flown since, like, January. December even. End of December. Right, I'll be back with you in one moment, chat. Just need to empty the bladder before this approach. Alrighty. Lewis, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Not the best approach to see the seafront at the channel file Pico. Best approach is between the islands. I thought that's where we are going between two islands here, between Pico and Horta. Is that not what you mean? Oh, it is. Okay. Well, good. That's what we're doing. Okie dokie. Let's reduce this rate of descent here. We need to slow down here. I'm not paying enough attention here because I left the flight deck. Let's go to... Oops. Displays are lagging so much. Interesting. Let's keep coming down. We'll set this to 3,500. We'll get the music turned down. And we're below flight level 100, so let's get the lights on. And I've probably been penalised by Newsky for that, unfortunately. Goddamn bladder. Right, do we have any other aircraft in the area? We really do not. Okay, good. Couple of... Oh, there's quite a few boats out here actually, isn't there? Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay, so we need to be above 5,000 feet at both these fixes, which we're meeting. That's absolutely fine. We're below the profile, but again, that's absolutely fine. We are trying to do that. Right, let's get the ADF displayed. In fact, I'm going to actually flick this over here as well. So we've got the VOR as well, which is more or less in a similar position to the NDB. So I can use that as sort of a backup for the DME. Coming down to 220 knots now. Get the sound turned up for the arrival here. And let's do a bit of sky dolly action. Start recording now so I don't forget. Right, so here we go. Come through Velas. We've got 15 miles to go to Hotel Tango. Absolutely fine. Set our altitude selector down to 1,200 now. Displays are lagging so much. Let's just grab the meta from the sim as well, just to double check the QNH they're using. 1025. That's all good. So approach checklist bar F is set 1025 on both sides. Seatbelt signs are on. Minimums are set to 880 feet. Auto brake is not required. We're using max manual braking, and engine mode selector is in normal. Approach checklist complete. So we're about to pass through 10 miles. Go to 2.5 degrees. We'll go flaps 1. Speed is checked flaps 1. And we'll go approach phase activate. Oh look, we do have a VDEV. Maybe we could have done this managed. Oh dear. Okay. Well, it doesn't really matter too much, like I say, because we are doing a circle to land. And we're way higher at the moment, just for reference, chat. We should have been at 3,500 at 10 miles. This is a problem. This cloud was not expected to be quite so much. And we'll go to flaps 2. Speed is checked. Flaps 2. drop the gear as well, just to control the speed a bit here. Set 1100. Alt is blue. 1100 blue. What's the minimum? 880 feet, aviates. I do really want to get down a bit more here, so I'm going to bump up the flap of angle even more so. We are catching this vertical profile here. Radio altimeter alive. Here we go. Here's Horta. There's all the boats down there for Seafront simulations. Very nice indeed. There's the airport. Right, let's arm the spoilers. Speed is nicely under control now. Feeling quite good about that. And we're coming up on 1,100 feet. It's really difficult to adjust things at the moment because of the lag on the displays. Pull the track. So we've got track 260. Crikey, if this is a 2.8 approach from here, you would go to 2.8. That is absolutely wild. No chance. Right. Let's go to flaps 3. Speed is checked. Flaps 3. We'll go secondary. Activate secondary. And that's sequenced properly. That's good. Let's turn to 279er. And we're quite close in here, so we may need to just... maybe take a little bit of an extended downwind here. So we'll start the timer there. We'll go flaps full. Yeah, we're very, very close in here. So I might just come out a little bit further. Oh, no. The chrono was already running. Oh, well, that's fine. We'll do 30 seconds from here. Going altitude is going to be 5,000 feet, so we'll go ahead and set that. Right, we're 40 seconds here. Let's go ahead and start that. Bloody lag displays. Let's disconnect here and we'll start that base turn. With a shallow descent.
1,000. 100 above.
Oh, that's way too much descent rate.
Speed.
Auto thrust very slow here.
Speed.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
This is sounding so terrible, chat.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
I think we do this again, chat, to be honest with you. This is a little bit scuffed here. Although, I think... Nah, let's go for it, chat. We've just about recovered it here. Let's go to manual thrust. We're fully visual. We're not actually below the minima yet, even. Get the flight directors off. It's very sensitive. It's a lot more sensitive than I remember it being. Want to make sure we're definitely not too fast here. Or high, because of the length of this runway.
300. $40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
Spoilers. Reverse green, max manual braking. Oof, those sounds though. Come on now. 60 knots, reverse stowed. Alrighty. Not too bad in the end. That last little bit was actually okay, I feel. It was just the transition bit from the circle to land that was a little bit rough. Other than that, I think it was not bad. It was not too bad. Alrighty then, chat. Let's see some landing rate predictions, shall we? Welcome. Lewis says too low, 1,500 feet at that point. Is that... I was just following the charts. At the final approach fix at the Horta locator, it says 1,200 feet on the charts. I think that might be a good landing in terms of how Newsky is going to mark me, I think they might be okay with that. Did I reduce sensitivity? Fenix recommended -30 for pitch and roll for a light stick. Oh, did they really? Oh, I see. I just saw that they said to reset to 0. So, no, I didn't reduce. That's probably why it's so sensitive then. Welcome to Horta, guys. This is the scenery by MM Simulations. As you can see, very nicely detailed here. Lots of stuff going on. Very nice runway textures and markings. Right, let's get the flaps up. Spoilers disarmed. We'll get the predictive wind shear and the weather radar off. TCAS and the transponder can come off as well. We do have a GSX profile here as well, so let's go ahead and choose a stand. Enter via Alpha only or Bravo only. Okay, let's go via Alpha only because that's what we're doing. Oh, the stutters. This is Alpha, I believe, if I remember correctly. It is. And we're going for stand 1, which is the furthest along. After landing checklist, radio and predictive wind shear are off. After landing checklist complete. Get the landing lights off now and the strobes off. We'll get the APU fired up. It sounds so nice. Right, where do I go here? I think I follow this line around. I don't follow this dotted line here. Got stuck because we're on a hill. We've got a marshaller over there as well. Oh, this looks very tight here, chat. That sunlight reflecting off whatever that is over there. Oh, it's just peeking through the trees there. This guy has got a death wish. Come on now. Let's see what the clearance is like here. Where's the wing? There it is. Just got clearance. Right, so where do I pull in here? I think it's just a case of turning left up this line, isn't it? Although that dotted line says A320 there. Maybe I should have followed the dotted line. I'm so interested to see what this parking job's like. Okie dokes, parking brake is set. APU is available. Shut down both the engines. Just gonna do that. Lovely. We'll get the beacon off, and that should automatically call the stairs, etc. for us. We'll get the seatbelt signs off. Fuel pumps off. Welcome to Horta, guys. The external power is already here, so we'll get that on and turn the APU master off. Hey! Oh, I forgot about the taxi lights. I'm so sorry, Mr. Marshaller. Oh, and here come the stairs. Wow, that worked perfectly. Hey, that's not too bad, that parking job, I don't feel like. Come on now. Come on now. Love to see it. Alrighty. Very good. Okay, so parking checklist. Parking brake is set. Chocks are in. Engines. Actually, are the chocks... They are. Engines are off. Wing lights are off. And the fuel pumps are off. Parking checklist complete. Welcome. Welcome, guys. That was spicy, wasn't it? That was very spicy. I think when I first started that base turn and I put in the nose down to do that initial descent, I really didn't expect it to, you know, start a descent that rapid. So that's what kind of caused it all to go a little bit pear-shaped on that turn there. I personally going to blame the fact that I'm not used to the new flight model and the sensitivity of the aircraft. So yeah, I guess I was just putting in an adjustment. What I'm used to essentially for, you know, I've practiced plenty of touch and goes in the Fenix before, so circle the lands, not, you know, something that I'm unfamiliar with. So yeah, I think I just put it down to my muscle memory being, you know, not being adjusted yet to the new Fenix, which I think is perfectly excusable. So let's have a look then at the Newsky report, shall we? Okay, that's not looking too bad actually. Let's have a look then. So we'll bring up the fuzz pad. So routing was Lisbon to Horta. We were early departing, early arriving. So very nice there. We made $10,000. Very nice indeed. 177 passengers. Got to love that new capacity. Upgraded capacity here on Fuzzair. Yeah, making a nice bit of balance there. So I have to say, very, very nice indeed. And then the pilot rating, not too bad. 9.8. So very good. I thought I was going to get marked down for that takeoff being off center line, but apparently I wasn't as bad as I thought I was. And we did get marked down 0.2 for the landing, probably because it was an average touchdown. 336 feet per minute, 1.38 G. So a little bit on the firmer side, a positive touchdown, as they might say. But nevertheless, we were within the touchdown zone and on center line, so you got to love that. Let's have a little bit of a zoomage here on the old map here and see whereabouts we were. So this is our circling approach, and then landing more or less right on the aiming point there, which you'd love to see. And yeah, just a little bit to the right of center line, so not too bad at all. Pretty happy with that, actually. Firm, but very, very, you know, legal landing, I have to say. So, pretty happy with that. Who got the closest then? 338, 336 feet per minute. Let's see. Liana looks like you are the closest. In fact, Aviate, very, very close there with the G-force, 1.4 G. And then I've got to give it to Liana as well with the 200 feet per minute. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Body Pilot, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Oh, Lewis, you're joking. My apologies. I take things way too seriously on this channel sometimes. Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you so much, dude. Sonny says, invest in a 4090 and forget it. Yeah, I wish I could, to be honest. It's not something I can at the moment, Sonny. But yeah, I would love to do that, to be quite honest. Let's have a look outside. We've got all the passengers disembarking automatically, which you'd love to see. And very, very nice indeed. Nice pathing to the terminal there. Great. Not penalised for lighting either. Yes, Roy, indeed. Yeah, I must have... Yeah, I mean, I put it on at what, about just in the high 8,000s, I think. So, yeah, I guess that was within the acceptable margin, which I'll take it. I will take it. Landing rate was 338 feet per minute, 1.38... Sorry, 336 feet per minute, 1.38 G. But we got centerline touchdown zone, so pretty happy with that. I've got a replay saved as well, so we will watch that back momentarily. But let's just have a little bit of a look around Horta. This is a just released scenery for Microsoft Flight Simulator by Simulations. And yeah, I mean, you've already seen quite a bit of it. It's only a small airport. They've got the very nice PBR on the ground here, which I noticed immediately. Ground markings and ground textures look very nice, I have to say. Pretty good. Runway textures very nice. You've got the grooves in the runway there. That is real to the real world runway. Runway textures we've already seen are very nice as well. We've got the distance remaining markers as well, which you love to see. And look at the detail on there. That's very nice, isn't it? We've got default taxiway signage. I can live with that. Yeah, nice. So it looks like some custom fonts there on the markings, which you love to see. We've got this fence all the way around the edge, which can't stand it when developers don't put fences in. Yeah, texturing and modeling for the main terminal looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. I think this is probably the nicest one I've seen by Simulations. Obviously, the Liège is very, very nice. But I think just as an overall scenery, I think this is possibly their best so far. You've got the nice 3D modeled letters in here. You've got the sort of little, I suppose maybe these are like sound barriers or something like that along the sides. And then you've got a little bit of an interior here with some static passengers. We've obviously got a GSX profile here, which is causing the passengers to walk through here. A little bit of an interior. Yeah, very small airport. I'm just trying to see if there's any other internals here. No, there isn't. And then you come up top here. Very, very nicely detailed landside, which you'd love to see. Let's make it a bit brighter. Animated flags. Simulations killing it as ever with the animated flags. And then we've got some like custom road work here. Looks like we've got some custom trees maybe. I'm not sure. That might be Bijan and Habashi. I'm not sure. But yeah. Overall, very, very pleasant and nice. Nice feeling of the airports. And I think if this is somewhere you want to fly to, this is definitely worth getting, this scenery, I think. Can't really see anything bad about it, to be honest with you. The only downside, I think, to this island is the satellite imagery. Obviously, that's not any fault of simulations, but satellite imagery is probably not the greatest. They've also terraformed and modeled in a bunch of rocks around the edge here. You might have seen that on the approach. And added some foliage in here as well. Foliage. Which also looks pretty good. Not too many ships, though, from Seafront Simulations there. I thought I was going to see a few more than that. Oh, the stairs have magically just... Oh, there we go. Maybe if I just do a little bit of a tweak with the time here, that sort of fixes things. Let's have a look. Seeing many ships, but maybe I'm not looking in the right place. Oh. Maybe it's an LOD thing. There's a couple. Or maybe they're just spawning in because I adjusted the time there. There's quite a few now, isn't there? But yeah, here we go. Cruising on down. And the night lighting on these is really nice. So let's have a quick look at that, I think. Look at that. Real nice. Reflecting on the water. Super cool. Quite detailed as well, these ships. Wait. Hang on. There it is. Quite detailed for a ship that you're probably going to be spending most of your time quite far away from. I've completely lost where I am now. Let's just make it a bit brighter here. Let's go have a look at the... this cruise liner over here, because the lighting on these is really, really cool. Really impressive. Let's just reset the exposure. Look at that. Come on now. Real nice. Smoke coming out the top as well, or steam. So imposingly big, some of these cruise liners, aren't they? Like, imagine being... Come on, camera, slow down. There we go. Imagine being in like a little rowboat down here. Crikey. Alrighty then. I think the boarding seems to have ended now. Cool. Oh, you wanted to see some nighttime shots of the airport. My apologies. Very dark, to be honest. I mean, I'm not sure whether they have night operations at this airport or not, but it's very dark on the apron there and inside the terminal. But landside's nicely lit here, and the signage has got nice lighting. And this, it looks like, oh, I didn't notice this before. You've got like a check-in area here, which is nicely lit. That's very nice. Very dark on the apron though. Obviously night lighting on the, sorry, the apron taxiway lighting is, you know, pretty... In fact, there isn't any taxiway lighting. It's just edge lighting, isn't it? Oh, there's taxiway lighting here. But it ends there. It's very, very short. That's probably just a quirk of the airport, I suppose, isn't it? There's probably... I would imagine maybe not that much night operations here then, I guess. I think this area could be doing with being a bit brighter though, even though you've got the nice lights on the roof, it just looks a bit dark, doesn't it? Yeah, not bad. On the runway itself, you've got touchdown zone lighting and edge lighting. I don't think you have any leading lights here. Oh, you do? Okay. There you go. They have night ops, but only with a dash 8. I see. Got you. Alrighty. So then, chats, let's have a look at the replay then, shall we? I think it's time. Right, let's do one of these guys. Oh. Let's just see what happened here. Did it actually deboard the aircraft? It did. Okay, interesting. Fair enough. So, let's go to panel states. We'll go to ready. Do one of these and one of these. I'm going to turn the sim volume down a bit here because the sounds don't really play back that well on the Fenix. So let's fast forward to the spice that we all want to see then. Here we go. Feels like it's in slow motion, this, but it's not. Let's fast forward a little bit here. Alright, here's the base turn then. Nothing beats Pyrig, yeah. I mean, Pyrig has set the bar very, very high, haven't they? Very, very difficult, I think, to beat that kind of quality. Look how good the textures look on the Fenix though from underneath as well. All right, let's get to the landing. I think we all want to see the landing, don't we? This is fast forwarded. Normal speeds. In fact, let's just go back a little bit here. Right, here we go with it. Oh. Here we go then, chat. Oh my god, the trees. Yeah. As noted on Newsky, right on the aiming point there. Let's go around this side, because all those trees were getting in the way, weren't they? Pretty good. I mean, I can't really fault that too much, considering how sloppy that base turn was. And stopped actually at the, stopped super quick at the blink of an eye. I didn't check the brake temperatures. I forgot to check the brake temperatures. Never mind. It's not worth doing now because they'll be really, really high because of the replays and that. But I can't be unhappy with that, honestly. Let's check this guy. For my first landing, considering it was not an easy approach either. Oh, we've got some custom modeling down here on the lights. You'd love to see it. I have to say, it did feel quite nice, though, to flare. It didn't feel, the nose down in the flare mode. It didn't feel quite as aggressive as what it previously did do. So, quite nice. Quite happy with how that felt. Alrighty then, chats. Well, that is that saga done with then. Oh, look, some more boats there. Very, very nice. Right, well, we're going to play it out with this passenger view of the landing. Thought maybe the runway rises up ahead of you, making planting it more likely. Stephen, welcome to the chat. I can't quite remember the runway gradient here. Let's just have a quick check. It didn't seem to have too much of a slope to it, though. You look very close to this ground here, don't you, out the window, because it's rising up on this left side. Oh, yeah. I mean, it does have a bit of an upslope. Elevation at 1.0 threshold is 81 feet, and at 2.8 threshold it's 117. So it's got a bit of uphill, but it doesn't seem to be super drastic. Let's just have a little bit of a look, shall we? So you can see it sloping up here. It's not too bad, though. Yeah, so we're a bit low coming in over the threshold here. 30 feet. But that's fine. I can deal with that.
5.
I'm okay with that. Right, let's play this out. Shall we play out from the base turn, shall we? Right then, guys, that's going to be it from me for today. If you enjoyed the stream, leave a thumbs up. If you thought that was a terrible landing, leave a thumbs up. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you again on Sunday for another stream. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for your support. Big shout out to Sonny and Soren for your memberships, gifted memberships, and super chats. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. I'll see you again on Sunday. I don't know what we're going to be doing yet, but stay tuned to my socials and Discord, and I'll update you on that one. Thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. Have a fantastic Friday evening. Bye for now.